Chapter 4362. That was indeed the case. Lin Xian knew that although they were few in number, every one of them was extremely terrifying, especially his strength. During this period of time, he had benefited from healing the Sage King, causing his strength to become stronger. Therefore, he was not afraid of these people. Moreover, he also knew that the Gu family did not dare to start a war with him. After all, there were other experts around, eyeing him covetously. Once they started a war, the others would reap the benefits. Very simple. You and I will have a duel. No matter who wins or loses, at least before entering the Voidland, we will not attack you again. The person who said this was naturally Wang Jiani. Now that he had cultivated the chaotic energy, he naturally could not wait to attack. Gu Feng was naturally happy to do so. He had already controlled Wang Jiani, so he wanted to use Wang Jiani to test what level Lin Xian had reached. You still dare to attack me? Lin Xian's eyes flickered. I don't know who gave you the courage, but since it's like this, I'll get rid of you completely today. Lin Xian looked ahead, and a biting, cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Obviously, although Wang Jiani was not as good as him, he was definitely an expert in the sword Dao. He did not want Wang Jiani to continue growing like this. Kid, you will regret this. I will make you suffer 100 times more pain. Wang Jiani's eyes emitted a biting cold light, and in the next moment, his aura exploded. It caused the void between heaven and earth to shatter continuously. The people on the surrounding mountain peaks narrowed their eyes. Interesting. He didn't expect to see such a battle even before entering the Voidland. On a mountain peak, the Alcade Saint looked ahead, and a mysterious light flickered in his eyes. He muttered, Lin Xian, I did not expect you to return after so many years. Let me see what kind of strength you have gained on the starry ancient road. Although the Alcade Saint was not ranked among the 5 heroes, his strength was indeed unfathomable. No one had ever dared to underestimate him. Therefore, he was very interested in Lin Xian now. Kid, prepare to die. In front, Wang Jiani took a step forward, and a majestic sword will swept out in all directions like a storm. That aura caused the expressions of the surrounding geniuses to change. This person's sword chi was terrifying. Even the experts of the older generation were frowning. It had to be said that the other party did indeed have the qualifications to fight with Lin Xian. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes when he felt the sword chi coming from his opponent's body. Has his strength increased again? No wonder he dares to attack me. It had to be said that this fellow was indeed a genius in the sword Dao. Thinking of this, he snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, the 9 suns' divine flame burst forth from his body. He was like the sun god of war, sweeping through the 9 heavens. The terrifying aura caused the surrounding people to suck in a breath of cold air. As expected of Lin Wudi, the legendary Central Emperor, his strength was really strong. Wang Jiani naturally knew how powerful Lin Xian was, so he did not dare to be careless. He immediately used 10,000 swords returned to origin, as well as a powerful array formation. Spirit Extinguishing Sword Formation. The terrifying sword array appeared between heaven and earth, capable of destroying everything. On the other side, Lin Xian was like a peerless sun god of war. His fists were wide open, sweeping in all directions. With one strike, the man ruler seal descended from the sky, slapping directly at the annihilation sword array. Too strong. When the surrounding people saw this, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. Boom. The strike was like the palm of a god. The annihilation sword array was directly shattered, and Wang Jiani was also sent flying, his face a little cold. Lin Xian said, Is this all you've got? I don't even need to look at you. If you have any other trump cards, take them out. Otherwise, you have no chance of winning at all. Damn, brat, you're arrogant enough. But do you really think that I don't have any trump cards? An extremely cold light appeared in Wang Jiani's eyes. He did not expect that during this period of time, the other party's strength had also become stronger. But so what? This time, he had cultivated the chaotic chi. In the next moment, he roared angrily, and an extremely terrifying aura appeared on his body. Then, a sword light flew out, rising and falling. Above it, a terrifying power spread out in all directions. There was actually the aura of primal chaos above it. This is The surrounding people looked at the sword light in the sky, and then their expressions turned grave. Many experts of the older generation gasped. Heavens, why do I feel the aura of primal chaos above it? That's right, it's indeed the aura of primal chaos. Could it be that this sword light is the primal chaos sword light? Cries of surprise rang out. On a mountain peak in the distance, the people of the Gu family revealed cold smiles. This Lin Xian is dead for sure this time. Wan Jinni has already cultivated the primal chaos sword light. The might of that sword Dao is unparalleled. I don't believe that Brat can block it. On another mountain peak, the Alcade Saint Sun was also shocked. Primal chaos light? He did not expect that the people of the Holy City would have a connection with the All Beginnings Holy Land. They even cultivated the primal chaos light. Interesting. Someone beside him asked, Saint Sun, does this mean that Lin Xian will be defeated? The Alcade Saint Sun indeed said that it was not certain. Don't forget that his foundation is also very strong. Therefore, let's wait and see how this battle will turn out. Although he said that, his gaze was still firmly fixed on Lin Xian. Clearly, he cared more about Lin Xian. In front of him, after Wan Jinni displayed the primal chaos sword light, he faced the sky and laughed. How about it? Brat, you've seen my trump card, right? This is a sword light formed by the aura of primal chaos. It's a power capable of splitting heaven and earth apart. What are you going to use to fight against me? Primal chaos light? Lin Xian furrowed his brows. From the looks of it, Wan Jinni should have gone to the All Beginnings Holy Land. He knew that Wan Jinni had already cultivated a trace of the primal chaos sword light. However, the might of that was incomparable to the current one. In other words, Wan Jinni had been cultivating the primal chaos sword light all this time. The All Beginnings Holy Land? It seemed that Gu Feng had helped him. After all, it would be very difficult for Wan Jinni to enter the All Beginnings Holy Land by himself. However, it would be different if he had the help of a great emperor clan. Although the primal chaos sword light was powerful, Wan Jinni did not care about it. Therefore, he still had a look of contempt in his eyes. Upon seeing this scene, Wan Jinni was thoroughly enraged. Damn it, Brat, what kind of expression is that? Could it be that you think that the current you is capable of contending against me? Wan Jinni was thoroughly enraged. Kill. With a roar, the primal chaos sword light blossomed with incomparable radiance. Then, it slashed forward. Heaven and earth were instantly split apart. This attack was incomparably powerful. Perhaps even a late-stage holy venerate would not be able to withstand it. Humph! Lin Xian coldly snorted. The 10 absolute swords flew out and formed a divine sword. In the next instant, a biting cold radiance burst out from his eyes as he slashed his sword toward the sky. Chapter 43-63. Boom, boom, boom. The two sword radiances clashed in the sky like divine swords. Then, countless cracks formed in the sky. Countless black holes appeared. The surrounding people also retreated frantically. The two of them were too powerful. He actually blocked it? When the people from the Gu family saw this scene, they frowned. They did not expect Lin Xian to be able to block the chaotic sword radiance. Wan Jinni frowned as well. He roared, and the chaotic sword radiance exploded again. It seemed like he wanted to suppress it completely. However, the power of the 10 extinction swords was also unparalleled. It had an extremely strong sword principle that could sweep through everything. It was simply impossible to break such a divine sword. However, Wan Jinni's eyes were suddenly filled with murderous intent. Go to hell, kid. 3 black bottle gourds flew out of his ring of holding. The gourds cracked open and the chaotic chi inside spread out, instantly shrouding him. When they saw this scene, the pupils of the surrounding people shrunk. Why was there still primal chaos chi? And it did not look like it belonged to Wan Jinni. Damn it, this was not his power. What he did was too despicable. Qin Xiener and Wan Jinni snorted. However, when the Gu family heard this, they sneered. Despicable? You are really naive. This is also a kind of trump card. Use it if you have the ability. Between heaven and earth, the terrifying chaotic chi was all absorbed by Wan Jinni. On the other side, the chaotic sword was even more terrifying. Wang Jinyi smiled proudly. He was confident that with such a trump card, Lin Xian would definitely not be able to block it. Today was the day for him to take revenge. Boom! The chaotic sword exploded with power again and attacked quickly. The terrifying sword radiance filled the sky. It was as if thousands of stars had fallen and slashed down. With a crack, the 10 extinction swords were broken. Oh no, Lin Xian was in danger. When the surrounding people saw this, they all exclaimed. Once the 10 extinction swords were broken, Lin Xian would definitely die. Lin Xian, Guan Songhai and Qin Xianer also exclaimed. Their eyes were filled with anxiety. However, at this moment, Lin Xian was very calm. With external help? So what? An extremely terrifying aura burst from his eyes as he unleashed the breathing technique of the dragons. At the same time, the dragon roared inside his body. The roaring dragon soul came out, and the broken 10 ultimate swords exploded with power once again. Then, a sword flew out like a divine dragon, roaring between heaven and earth. He slashed forward. It clashed with the sword of primal chaos once more. Earth-shattering energy filled the air, shattering everything in its path. The people around him couldn't even open their eyes. Damn it, so strong. What happened just now? Wasn't Lin Xian about to lose? How could he still fight back? Some people were surprised. However, people like Gu Feng, the Alcade Saint's son, and the others all had extremely solemn expressions. Their gazes transformed into divine rainbows, piercing through everything. In the next moment, their pupils shrank. Damn it, how is this possible? Gu Feng's expression became extremely ugly. This was because he saw a figure flying backward and coming back. It is Wang Jinyi at this moment. Wang Jinyi was sent flying while spitting out blood. Cracks could be seen on his body. The sword of chaos in his hand dimmed as well, having been split in half down the middle. The others also saw it and immediately cried out in surprise. No way, Wang Jinyi was actually defeated. How is this possible? Even such a terrifying sword of chaos couldn't do anything to Lin Xian? What exactly did Lin Xian use just now? Everyone was surprised. The experts from the Wavering Light Holy Land were also stunned. It couldn't be, right? Did this guy actually win? In front, the Alcade Saint's son looked at this scene with flickering eyes. As expected, what a strong combat power. He will be a difficult opponent in the future. It seemed that everything was within his expectations. Wang Jinyi's face was pale. His confidence was shattered once again. How is this possible? Even such a powerful sword of chaos can't defeat him? Damn it, I don't believe it. He stood up and roared at the sky. However, Lin Xian slashed down again, directly splitting him in half. Blood mist filled the air, and the chaotic aura was completely destroyed. No, Wang Jinyi was completely terrified. However, between heaven and earth, a large crack instantly rescued Wang Jinyi. Gu Feng walked out and said in a deep voice, "Kid, stop. With us here, you can forget about killing him." Lin Xian frowned. "I don't know why you saved his life time and time again. However, he has already lost to me twice. He can't pose any threat to me at all. From now on, he is no different from an ant in my eyes." Damn it. On the other side of the void, Wang Jinyi had recovered his body. Hearing this, he spat out another mouthful of blood. Indeed, losing to Lin Xian twice made him unable to raise his head for the rest of his life. Lin Xian didn't care about Wang Jinyi. In his opinion, Wang Jinyi was no different from an ant. He stared at Gu Feng. "The battle between us hasn't ended yet. Why don't we have a decisive battle today?" An extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. The surrounding people sucked in a breath of cold air. No way, is this kid going to fight with the top genius of the great emperor family? Those people from the Gu family were also furious. "Kid, are you courting death? Who do you think you are? How dare you fight against us?" Endless spatial laws appeared on their bodies. Many spatial cracks appeared around Lin Xian, wanting to swallow him up. However, Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a flash of sword light, he shattered all the spatial cracks. He stood there as if nothing could invade him. "You ants aren't my match. Hurry up and scram. Gu Feng, do you dare to fight? How is that possible? Is our spatial laws effective against them?" Those people from the Gu family were stunned when they saw this scene. One must know that people of the same level couldn't even block one of their attacks. Even those late-stage experts couldn't block these attacks at all. But now, Lin Xian was completely fine. What's going on? What exactly is his sword chi? Gu Feng's expression also became incomparably cold. Do you think I'm really afraid of you? However, now isn't the time to fight with you. Wait until I enter the void and get what I want. That will be the time of your death. After saying that, Gu Feng turned around and walked towards the back. The surrounding people sighed. They didn't expect that the shocking battle still didn't happen. However, they also knew that the two of them wouldn't make a move so easily. Because if one of them lost, it would have a huge impact on one's Dao heart. Just as Gu Feng returned to the mountain peak, the sound of footsteps suddenly came from the void in front of him. What's going on? Is someone coming out? The surrounding people all widened their eyes. Then, they looked inside one by one. The footsteps became louder and louder. Then, the crowd saw three figures coming out. They stood at the edge of the void. These three people were cold as if they were looking down on everything. When the surrounding people saw this, they all took a deep breath. Among them, a man from the Gu family walked out and cupped his fists. May I ask, when can we enter? Who are you? The person in front asked coldly. Chapter 43-64. The Gu family said, We're at the ancient clan of the ancients. As soon as he said that, the three people in front were shocked. So you're from the Emperor clan. You can enter. However, only 3 people can enter. Only 3 people? The man from the Gu family frowned. However, Gu Feng said, All right, 3 it is. Then, he looked at the 2 people and said, You 2 follow me. They were a man and a woman. Their status and talent in the Gu family were extraordinary, so they were qualified to enter with Gu Feng. Gu Feng said, You 2 wait here, or you can go back. Then, Gu Feng looked at Wang Jiani and said coldly, Heal your injuries first. After saying those words, he led the 2 of them forward and soon entered the void. Looking at the 3 people's disappearing figures, the people on the surrounding mountain peaks all had cold gazes. Someone even said, We're from the 4 symbols sacred grounds and want to enter to watch. However, the figure in front said coldly, I'm sorry, the number of people today is full. Please come again next time. What? It's full? The people from the 4 symbols sacred grounds were stunned. On the other side, the people from the other sacred grounds and even the sacred city all spoke up. However, they were all rejected. The number of people is really full this time. I hope you won't make things difficult for us. The figure in the void said coldly, Saint, what should we do? The people from the Wavering Light sacred ground did the same. They frowned. The Wavering Light Saint said, You guys wait here. I'll go in and take a look. After saying that, he walked forward. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people stopped talking. They looked forward. It's the Wavering Light Saint. Is he going to make a move? He probably wants to enter the void. Lin Xian also turned his head. Is it him? He also remembered the Wavering Light Saint clearly. This person hid very well. He was a very difficult opponent. In front, the figure in the void also frowned when he saw this. Sir, please stay. I've already been very polite to you. If you still want to enter, don't blame us for attacking. There was a hint of arrogance in the figure's eyes. It was as if he didn't care about the geniuses in the world. The Alcade Saint came to the front. Without saying anything, he raised his hand and took out a token. He waved it lightly in front of the other party. That person's pupils shrank. What was this? The next moment, he sucked in a breath of cold air, and his eyes were filled with shock. The Alcade Saint's son had indeed said that. How was it? Am I qualified to enter? You can go in. After saying that, the Alcade Saint put away the token. Very good. His figure flickered and disappeared. The surrounding people were all stunned. Didn't you say that the quota was full? Why was he able to enter? You're obviously lying to us. Let's go in together. Many experts walked out. Up ahead, the figure in the void said, What? You want to fight? He didn't know the difference between life and death. That person punched forward. With a loud bang, several figures were sent flying while coughing up blood. Their eyes were filled with fear. How could he be so strong? A bunch of ants. They really don't know the difference between life and death. How dare they behave so atrociously in the void? Another person sneered. The three of them looked down like gods. We already said that the quota is full. Everyone, come again next time. Don't make things difficult for us. The three of them had contemptuous smiles in their eyes. The surrounding people were shocked. Some of them didn't believe it and attacked again. There were even older experts who attacked forcefully. Those were late-stage holy venerables, but they were sent flying and coughing up blood in one move. In an instant, hundreds of figures were sent flying. Some of them even coughed up blood and were seriously injured. Their bodies had exploded. The faces of the three figures in front also darkened. He said coldly, "If anyone else trespassed, they would be killed without mercy." Extremely cold killing intent appeared on their bodies. The surrounding people fell silent. They were too strong, whether it was a one-on-one or a group attack. They were no match for them at all. The strength of these three people was really too strong. This void was too magical. It could actually nurture such top-notch experts. What's going on? The void is too strange. Why do I feel that they are much stronger than us? Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai frowned. Even Lin Xian was surprised. Why were there people in the void? These three people were obviously living in the void. But that shouldn't be the case. According to his senior brother, unparalleled Holy King, this was an eternal land. Time didn't flow. How did these people survive? The surrounding people were discussing. What should they do? Should they all join forces? Perhaps they still had a chance. However, at this moment, an older figure shook his head and sighed. Don't provoke them. Their identities are very unusual. If we all join forces, we might be able to enter, but it will cause a lot of trouble. Were these people's identities so terrifying? So many experts from the Holy Lands joining forces couldn't fight against them? It seemed that they could only watch from the outside. Everyone sighed. No one dared to attack again. However, at this moment, Lin Xian walked out. He was determined to obtain this void. How could he go back just because of it? Therefore, he walked forward. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were stunned. Even Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai were stunned. They weren't confident that they could defeat the people in front. The three people in front looked at him with disdain. How could the people outside be a match for them? However, suddenly, they frowned. They realized that there was another person who was recklessly walking over. "Kid, didn't you understand what I said just now? Do you really think that I don't dare to kill you?" Lin Xian said as he walked. "I have to enter the void. If you want to attack me, go ahead. If I'm killed by you, it means that I'm inferior. However, if I can defeat you, I hope that you won't stop me and let me in." Hearing this, the three people in front sneered. "You want to defeat us? What a joke. Kid, I don't care what your identity is or how strong you are outside. In front of us, even if you're a dragon, you'll have to lie down. I said that I'm going in. If you want to attack me, go ahead. Don't hold back. If I'm killed, it means that I'm inferior." While they were talking, Lin Xian had already arrived in front of the three people. It seemed that he really wanted to pass. Courting death. One of the three people's face darkened. He was wearing a purple Taoist robe and had short hair. At this moment, there was a trace of extremely cold killing intent in his long and narrow eyes. "I'll fulfill your wish." He stretched out a finger that shone brightly. It was as if a divine sword had pierced over. With one strike, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Vast laws spread out. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were terrified. It was so terrifying. It seemed that the three of them had held back previously. Now that they were going to kill, no one could stop them. Lin Xian was in danger. Yes, no matter how strong he was, he could defeat the geniuses outside. However, he had no chance of winning against the people of the void. Some of the older generation figures shook their heads and sighed. He was too reckless. It was useless to retreat now. They had heard some legends about the Void Land. The people there were very mysterious. Chapter 4365. With a single finger, the wind and clouds changed. Qin Xianer, Guan Songhai, and the others were stunned. Wang Jiani, who was at the back, was shocked. Then, he sneered. This was great. Lin Xian didn't know what was good for him. This attack might be able to finish him off. This way, he could take revenge indirectly. Lin Xian's expression turned grave when he sensed the power. Although he did not know who the other party was, the aura was too terrifying. It was even more terrifying than the chaotic sword light. He did not dare to be careless. He activated his divine body to the extreme and shot out a sharp sword chi with the aura of the dragon soul. It was like a giant dragon roaring. Clang! The two collided in the air and sparks flew. The earth-shattering power almost made people faint. The short-haired young man's pupil shrank. Did he block it? It was unbelievable. One should know that hundreds of experts could not even block one of their attacks. Now, this person could block his attack. Interesting. No wonder you are so arrogant. But you have completely angered me. So, you will definitely die. An extremely terrifying aura spread out from his body, making everyone's hair stand on end. The short-haired young man opened his 5 fingers and formed a huge palm, slapping forward. On the palm, there was an illusion of a heavenly steel, as if it had crossed time and space. A burst of pressure suppressed everything. As soon as it appeared, the surrounding people felt as if their bones were about to break. Even Lin Xian's body let out a roar, as if he had been hit by a huge impact. Humph! Go to hell, kid. The short-haired young man sneered. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a terrifying light. A sharp sword in tint appeared in his hand, as if it was going to pierce through the 9 heavens. The shocking sword light turned into a sword shadow and slashed out. Boom! With one slash, the heavenly steel was split in half. Not only that, the short-haired young man was sent flying, spitting out blood. His body was almost split in half. How could it be? Everyone was stunned. They didn't dare to believe it. Even the 2 companions were stunned. The injured young man widened his eyes in disbelief. The next moment, he roared crazily. You lowly ant! How dare you hurt me? I'll kill you! An even more terrifying aura surged from his body. It seemed like he was about to attack again. However, Lin Xian's figure flickered and appeared in front of him in an instant. Then, with a wave of his hand, a taiji diagram appeared and blasted the other party away. With a boom, the area in front of him exploded. A taiji diagram enveloped the other party. Damn it! How dare you! His other 2 companions also regained their senses and roared crazily. When they saw the scene in front of them, they couldn't believe it. Their companions had actually been suppressed by the other party. Release our men and kneel down to die. We will give you a quick death. At the same time, release your 2 companions. Otherwise, you and your 2 companions will suffer a fate worse than death today. Just the 2 of you? Lin Xian turned his head with a look of disdain. Your companion is in my hands. Aren't you afraid that I'll kill him? The 2 of them sneered. Kid, would you dare to do that even if you had 10 guts? Don't you know who we are? Let me tell you, we are the Immortal Guardian clan. We are existences that were placed in this world by the immortals. How dare you attack us? I'm afraid you won't be able to survive in this world. The 2 of them had endless arrogance in their eyes. The surrounding people were stunned. What? Left behind by the immortals? Heavens, are there really immortals in this world? They were all stunned, because it was said that even the great emperors couldn't become immortals. Lin Xian was also shocked when he heard that. They had such a big background? No wonder they were so arrogant when facing the great emperor family. However, were there really immortals in this world? He didn't believe it either. So he snorted coldly. What Immortal Guardian clan? I've never heard of it. Let me in now, and I'll release your companions. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. A hint of coldness appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. You're courting death. The 2 of them were enraged. Attack. Extremely terrifying auras appeared on their bodies. They were about to attack. However, at this moment, a stream of light flew past in the distance and landed in front of them. Then, he strode towards the void in front of him. The people around them were all stunned. Who was this person? The 2 of them were also furious. Why are there so many people today? Are they challenging them one after another? It seemed that they had to kill a few of them to intimidate them. Lin Xian turned to look as well and was stunned by what he saw. It's you. The person who came was actually Chao Tianxing. Chao Tianxing arrived and looked at Lin Xian in shock. You actually dared to attack them? That's right. You're a person abandoned by the heavens. You don't need to show mercy to them. Chao Tianxing smiled. Then, he took out a token and said, I should be qualified to enter. The two of them originally wanted to be angry, but when they saw the token, their expressions changed. Then, they gritted their teeth and said, Go in. But you can't save this kid. Chao Tianxing said, He doesn't need me to save him. He ignored them. Instead, he looked at Lin Xian and said, I'll wait for you inside. After saying that, Chao Tianxing also went in. The surrounding people were all stunned. Another person had gone in. What exactly was the token that the other party had taken out? They didn't know. Therefore, for a moment, everyone looked at Lin Xian again. Are you a person abandoned by the heavens? You're even less qualified to enter. The two of them roared and attacked. Lin Xian's face darkened. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. He had already shown mercy previously. In that case, he waved the Tai Chi diagram and directly turned the person who was pressurized into a bloody mist. Then, he threw a punch. With a bang, he collided with the palm of one of them. Then, the 10 extinction swords with the aura of the dragon soul erupted and collided with the other person. Boom! There was an earth-shattering collision. The vast power caused the entire world to tremble. Countless cracks had appeared in the surroundings. However, the void was completely undamaged. Obviously, this was a very mysterious place. The two of them were sent flying. One of them spat out a mouthful of blood. The other person's face was filled with terror, because one of his arms was cut off and couldn't be healed. Lowly ant, you'll regret everything you've done. The two of them from the immortal guardian clan roared crazily. The person who was beaten into a bloody mist also fled into the distance. His body couldn't be fused at the moment. The deities were incomparably terrified. Damn it, what's going on? The enemy is actually stronger than us. One had to know that they were from the immortal guardian clan and had been cultivating in the void all year round. Who could be stronger than them? If the two of them didn't have tokens, they definitely wouldn't have let them in. Chapter 4366. This kid is too weird. Lin Xian's expression was cold. The power of the dragon sword soul erupted like a god of war. The Taiji diagram then turned into a world and flew towards the three people in front of him. The three of them tried their best to dodge, but they were still suppressed. The three of them were terrified, but there was nothing they could do. Lin Xian, on the other hand, walked inside. At that moment, a few more figures walked over from afar. What's going on? This time, 5 people walked over, led by a man who walked with a majestic gait. When he arrived, he immediately frowned. His 3 companions had actually been suppressed by someone. Who is it? Did someone bring a Sage King's weapon here? In the next moment, they stared at Lin Xian. Is it you? These people's expressions were extremely strange. It shouldn't be. Is this kid so strong? The 3 people who were suppressed said, Brother, be careful. This kid is very strange. Kill him. He actually dares to injure us. The 3 of them roared crazily. When the young man in front heard this, his face turned cold. Attack! With a roar, the 4 people behind him instantly moved. For divine steels appeared in their palms. With a desolate aura, they suppressed the sky and the earth. Between heaven and earth, there was a shattering sound. The place where Lin Xian was completely enveloped. The Taiji diagram spun continuously to resist. Lin Xian, on the other hand, waved his sword again. The dragon roared, and the sword was vast and mighty. The divine steels were sent flying, and the 4 of them vomited blood. Lin Xian was incomparably powerful. He directly charged towards the young man in the lead. So strong. He did not expect the person in front of him to be so terrifying. The young man in the lead was instantly enraged. His body shone like stars. Then, many runes appeared around him. He channeled his power to the extreme. A saber light slashed out. The young man in the lead was much stronger than the others. However, compared to Lin Xian's dragon sword soul, it was still not enough. After 10 moves, he was directly sent flying. The Taiji diagram spun and suppressed all of them. The surrounding people were dumbfounded. They could not believe it. As for the people from the immortal guardian clan, their faces were filled with fear. This was something that they had never encountered in their entire lives. In their eyes, their immortal guardian clan was high up above. Even if they were emperor clans, they still carried a hint of arrogance. Not to mention the others. In their eyes, they were all ant-like existences. However, at that moment, the ants in their eyes were actually so powerful that they were able to suppress over a dozen of them. Being high and mighty, and having the corresponding strength, I'm afraid that you guys won't be able to achieve this. Lin Xian looked at these people and sneered with contempt in his eyes. This made these people vomit blood in anger. These people madly roared and threatened, but it was useless. Lin Xian turned around and waved at Guan, Songhai, and Qin Xianer. Let's go together. The two of them took a deep breath and followed him. Then, the three of them walked inside. The surrounding people looked at each other. Many of them even wanted to take action because this was the best opportunity. No one stopped them anymore. However, those older generation figures did remind them that the immortal guardian clan was related to immortals, and no one dared to provoke them. If they went in now, they would be courting death. When the others heard this, they stopped in their tracks and could only watch from the outside. In their eyes, even if Lin Xian and the other two entered, they would probably die without a doubt. Lin Xian didn't care about this. His goal was obvious. He wanted to come to the void and find power that could help him improve. Behind them, Qin Xianer asked if there were really immortals in this world. Guan Songhai shook his head. He didn't know. However, these people's attitudes were so strong that they didn't even care about the emperor clans. One could imagine that their identities were very likely to be extraordinary. Lin Xian didn't care at all. He was someone who had been abandoned by immortals. Why would he be afraid of a mere immortal guardian clan? The three of them moved very quickly and walked all the way inside. Soon, a magical scene appeared inside. The landscape here was very primitive, as if it was a primordial era. There were many people standing in front. It seemed like they were waiting for something. At this moment, when they heard footsteps behind them, the people in front also turned their heads. In their eyes, it should be the people who had gone to patrol before returning. However, when they saw Lin Xian and the other two, they were stunned. What's going on? What's going on with this guy? Gu Feng's pupils constricted. The Alcade Saint also revealed a look of surprise. However, the corners of Chao Tianqing's mouth curled up into a smile. In addition, there were some people who looked over. Some of their faces were familiar, and some were very unfamiliar. These people's gazes fell on Lin Xian and the other two. Guan Songhai and Qin Xianer immediately felt the pressure. That was because none of the people here were weaker than them. They were all extremely terrifying existences. Lin Xian didn't care. He looked around and greeted Chao Tianqing. Then, he looked at the others. Gu Feng, the Alcade Saint, and the others naturally didn't need to be mentioned. He had known them for a long time. However, he also knew some of the other people. He had only met them once. They were the few people he had seen in the primordial grotto previously. At that time, they had sat beside the reincarnation protector. They should have been with Han Chong. This meant that these people should have come from the buried Emperor Star. No wonder they could come here. At the same time, he also understood why the people from the Immortal Guardian clan said that the number of people was full. It seemed that the people from the buried Emperor Star wanted to monopolize this place and didn't want the people from the true spirit world to come. If it wasn't for Gu Feng's identity as an Emperor clan member, he wouldn't have been able to come here. The people from the buried Emperor Star were truly tyrannical. Han Chong and the others also turned their heads. When they saw Lin Xian and the other two, they were also shocked. It was actually that brat? They cried out in alarm. Another person asked, Han Chong, who is he? Do you know him? Which paradise is he from? No, his origin is different from ours. He's from the second star realm, Holy City. Hearing this, contempt appeared in the eyes of those people. Holy City? They really didn't put it in their eyes. One of them sneered. How could such a person be qualified to come here? The people from the Immortal Guardian clan also frowned. Someone walked over and said, Who let you three in? Do you have a token? Are you from the Emperor clan? Hearing this, Gu Feng also sneered. Lin Xian said, "No need to ask. I don't have a token and I'm not from the Emperor clan. I fought my way in. Those people outside have already been suppressed by me." What? As soon as these words were spoken, the surrounding people were stunned. Even the people from the buried Emperor's star were stunned. Fought his way in? This brat really dared to say that. Does he know where this place is? Chapter 4367. The people from the Immortal Guardian clan were stunned. You dare to attack our people? Are you tired of living? These people were emitting cold-killing intent. Guan Songhai looked as if he was facing a great enemy. Lin Xian laughed. Those people from before had the same attitude towards me. They were all suppressed by me. If you want to attack, go ahead. If I'm killed, it's because I'm inferior. But if you're suppressed by me, you'll regret attacking me. You're courting death? You think you're qualified to say that? One of them rushed over and struck out with his palm. Demon subduing palm. With a roar, a terrifying palm that could suppress 10,000 demons came crashing down. However, it was slashed apart by Lin Xian's sword. That person's body was slashed in half, and he roared crazily. Lin Xian's eyes were emitting a terrifying killing intent. He said, "Since I'm here, I've made preparations. Either you accept our existence and let us see the secrets of the nothingness, or you can attack us. I don't mind causing a ruckus here. But if you destroy anything in the nothingness, don't blame me." Lin Xian was abnormally strong. His words seemed to have suppressed the people around him. The people from the Immortal Guardian clan had ugly expressions. Damn it, this guy actually dares to behave so atrociously in our territory. One must know that even the people from the Emperor clans and the people from the buried Emperor Star follow the rules here. However, this guy was too arrogant. Kill him. Tear him into pieces. Let everyone know the consequences of being arrogant in the nothingness. However, at this moment, two figures walked over from afar. It was a man and a woman. Their auras were even more mysterious. It was obvious that their status was not ordinary. Seeing this scene, the people from the Immortal Guardian clan turned their heads and looked over. The man said coldly, "All right, stop it." However, the other people wanted to say something, but the man's face sank. "What? You don't even want to listen to me?" "Yes, we know." The people from the Immortal Guardian clan became incomparably respectful. Then, they looked at Lin Xian and the other two. "Brat, your luck is very good. This time, I'll make an exception and let you stay here. However, you better behave yourself. If you dare to be arrogant again, don't blame us for being rude." Lin Xian was also stunned. He didn't expect the other party to not make a move. He raised his head and looked at the man and woman in the distance with a puzzled expression. The auras of these two people were indeed strong. After the two mysterious people finished speaking, they left and did not come down. For a moment, the surroundings became incomparably quiet. Lin Xian and the other two started to look around curiously. Further ahead, there was a huge canyon. No one knew where it led to, but at this moment, everyone was looking at the canyon. It was obvious that the secret of the Void Lands lay in this canyon. However, these people were all waiting and did not enter. He didn't know why. Lin Xian waited for a while before walking forward. He felt that the aura coming from the canyon was becoming more and more mysterious, and there were even some that were extremely familiar. This made him extremely surprised. "I don't know. What is it?" Therefore, he decided to go over and take a look. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were stunned. "Kid, what are you trying to do?" The person from the Immortal Guardian clan walked over again and said coldly, "Who allowed you to go in? Wait here. Can't you see that the others don't dare to move?" Lin Xian frowned. "This canyon is so big. It shouldn't be a problem for one or two people to go in, right? Why? Do you dare to stop me? Do you know what kind of person is meditating inside? Do you think you can disturb such a person? If you go in and disturb him, I'm afraid you'll suffer a fate worse than death. Therefore, if you know what's good for you, listen to us and stand here obediently. We're doing this for your own good." Lin Xian frowned. "Is that so? What kind of person is so powerful? I really want to see." With that, Lin Xian walked forward. The people from the Immortal Guardian clan were completely enraged. "Damn it, Do you really think that we don't dare to attack you? Previously, they didn't attack Lin Xian because the genius from the Immortal Guardian clan had spoken up. But now, this kid in front of them was being so arrogant. It really made them furious. Therefore, someone immediately attacked. With a slap, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A flood surged towards Lin Xian. It was as if the entire ocean had descended. Lin Xian was unfazed. He flung his palm forward, unleashing a boundless divine flame, which completely suppressed the surging flood. Then, he grabbed forward. The 5 elemental laws flew out and formed a 5-elemental mountain, directly suppressing the other party. The surrounding people were all stunned. They didn't expect Lin Xian to be so powerful. He suppressed their companion with a single move. No wonder he could enter so domineeringly. Lin Xian's figure was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he had already arrived at the edge of the canyon. However, at this moment, someone attacked again. Stop. Our people are meditating inside. Do you dare to attack us? The person who spoke was a man. His eyes were also filled with a disdainful aura. He was sitting together with Han Chong and the others. Obviously, he was from the buried Emperor's star. After Lin Xian heard this, he also turned his head. The blue-robed figure said, "You should know who we are. What do you think the consequences of offending us will be? Are you trying to stop me? I've long heard that the people from the buried Emperor's star are very strong. However, I haven't had the chance to fight. Now, I don't mind fighting." Lin Xian's eyes also blossomed with a cold light. He felt that there was an even greater call from inside. Obviously, there was something inside that was very suitable for him. Therefore, he had to enter. Do you really think you can be so arrogant? Do you really think you can be so arrogant? Previously, we didn't attack you because we were giving face to the Immortal Guardian clan. Now that you're acting so recklessly, it seems that I have to take action. He walked out, and there were 6 stars revolving around his palm. A desolate aura covered the sky and earth. It was as if his palm had turned into the universe. Boom! With a slap, the sky shook. Qin Xiener and the others' expressions changed. This was too powerful. Was this the strength of the people from the buried Emperor's star? Lin Xian waved his hand, and the 10 absolute sword formation revolved around him. Terrifying sword Qi also rushed over. It collided with the 6 stars of the opponent. Large patches of the void were torn apart as boundless power swept out in all directions. How could a mere star dare to compete with the sun? Lin Xian coldly snorted, and the 9-yang divine body blossomed with light. Like a peerless sun, it shone in all directions, causing the stars to become dim. Damn it! The blue-robed figure from the buried Emperor's star was thoroughly enraged. With a loud roar, the 6 stars on his body became even more terrifying. They joined together as if they had turned into a small universe and quickly rushed over. Lin Xian's eyes blossomed with a golden light that could see through everything. It was only so. It was over. The corner of his mouth rose into a smile. At the same time, the 10 absolute sword formation erupted once again. The surrounding people were shocked. Chapter 4368. Can it end now? What a joke. Especially those people from the buried Emperor's star. They were filled with disdain. So what if the other party was strong? Could he compete with them? They did not believe it. When the blue-clothed man who attacked heard this, his face turned gloomy. He roared angrily and charged over once again. His body blossomed with a terrifying light and the entire world started to shake. However, Lin Xian's expression was ice-cold. He coldly snorted. The people from the buried Emperor's star were only SOSO. After saying that, he formed a seal with his palm and slapped forward. Boom! The man-ruler seal slapped forward. Terrifying light swept out in all directions. At that moment, everyone's expression changed. In fact, there was even a deep and low voice that sounded from the canyon. It was as if a god was roaring. The surroundings started to crumble. What's going on? At this moment, everyone's expression changed. Even those people from the Immortal Guardian clan narrowed their eyes. Such a scene had never happened before. What exactly did this brat do? Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. This aura seemed to be related to his man-ruler seal. It seemed that there was indeed something in this canyon. He had to go in. The blue-clothed man from the buried Emperor's star was sent flying by the palm. Many large cracks appeared on his body. Was he injured? The people from the buried Emperor's star exclaimed. They found it hard to believe. Lin Xian was incomparably powerful. The man-ruler seal in his hand was even more terrifying. Who would dare to attack again? The cold voice resounded in all directions. For a moment, everyone was stunned. Especially in the canyon, there was a voice. This made everyone worried. If they were to fight here, would it affect the people who were comprehending inside? Therefore, the people from the buried Emperor's star did not attack again. Don't attack. If you affect the others, it will be very troublesome. So, let this kid go in first. Wait for our people to finish comprehending. At that time, we will kill him. None of the surrounding people dared to make a move. Even the people of the immortal guardian race were stunned. Lin Xian brought Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai. The three of them once again walked into the canyon. After entering, they felt a mysterious aura enveloping them. This place is too unusual, Qin Xianer exclaimed. There was someone ahead. Guan Songhai was also surprised. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes as well. There were indeed three people in front of them. The three of them stood at different positions in the canyon and began to comprehend. What are they looking at? Qin Xianer was shocked. Lin Xian said, They probably won't dare to do anything in this canyon. So we are safe here. Everyone, start comprehending. As he spoke, he took a deep breath as his eyes shone with a cold light. He began to look around. Gradually, he felt a strange change in his surroundings. It was as if he was no longer in a canyon, but a vast expanse of land. A deafening voice could be heard coming from the front. What is that? Lin Xian was stunned. He discovered that there was actually a huge battle taking place in front of him. Furthermore, the battle was so terrifying that it was simply unimaginable. Suddenly, he saw the entire world shatter as a palm slammed down. The aura carried by that palm was too terrifying. It was like the seal of heaven and earth, causing his hair to stand on end. At the same time, Lin Xian was even more shocked. That was the man-ruler seal. He was too shocked. He discovered that one of the two parties in this battle was actually using the man-ruler seal. He was too shocked. He did not expect to see the man-ruler seal here. Moreover, it was used by such a peerless expert. He had once heard from the unparalleled sage king that a battle was recorded in this void. It was a battle between two peerless experts 100,000 years ago. Now it seemed that the peerless expert from back then was actually able to use the man-ruler seal. Perhaps the man-ruler seal that he obtained was left behind by this peerless expert. A huge seal of heaven and earth descended from the sky with an unparalleled domineering aura. However, the opponent was equally terrifying. He was not a weakling. Facing such a terrifying seal, the figure was surrounded by multicolored light. True scriptures appeared, and then endless light condensed into a sword light. It directly pierced through the void. This attack was really too powerful. The aura that it carried was not any weaker than the man-ruler seal. It was as if it could destroy the 9 heavens. What kind of sword technique was this? Lin Xian was also surprised. He was an expert in the way of the sword, and he even had the great dragon sword soul. At this moment, when he saw this shocking sword, he was also shocked. The battle between the two was really too powerful. Not long after, Lin Xian felt that he was under tremendous pressure. Even his body was about to crack. Buzz. The next moment, he was blasted back, his face pale. The surrounding scene also disappeared. On the other side, Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai were also pale. Their eyes were filled with deep shock. Lin Xian, I saw it. There is a shocking battle, Qin Xianer exclaimed. Lin Xian nodded his head in agreement. I'm guessing that the distance here is related to the distance from the battlefield. The closer to the canyon, the closer the distance to watch the battle, and the stronger the pressure. In an instant, they understood the rules here. Guan Songhai gasped. We are quite far from the canyon, and it is already so terrifying. I wonder how the 3 people in front of us are enduring it. They looked over curiously. The 3 people's auras were also extraordinary, but they were obviously different. 2 people came from the same place, and the other person's aura was very similar to the people from the Immortal Guardian clan outside. Among the three people, one was an expert from the Immortal Guardian clan, and the other two were from the buried Emperor Star. Among the three people, a woman was the furthest away. She stood there and sat down cross-legged. Her body was shaking, but she was still able to endure. The other two people were pale, and sweat flowed down their faces. It was clear that they had endured a great deal of pressure to reach this step. This is a rare opportunity, so we have to quickly comprehend it, Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai also nodded. Next, the three of them began to comprehend. Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai could naturally see the scene of the battle. However, it was almost impossible for them to cultivate the human ruler seal. They could only comprehend it from the battle between the two experts. It was probably not only them, but the others were also the same. The only one who could cultivate the human ruler seal and strengthen it was Lin Xian. Because Lin Xian had obtained the inheritance imprint of the human ruler seal, he was able to do so. Otherwise, he would not have been able to cultivate it. Lin Xian's goal this time was to strengthen and perfect his human ruler seal. Although he had obtained the inheritance imprint, he was still far from being able to compare to the battle figure from 100,000 years ago. Now that there was such an expert who could use it countless times in front of him, how could he miss such an opportunity? Thus, Lin Xian forgot about everything else and focused all his attention on the battle. Of course, apart from the human ruler seal, there was also that shocking sword. Lin Xian also did not miss it. Chapter 4369. One day later, Lin Xian opened his eyes and walked a few steps forward before sitting down cross-legged again. Then, his figure appeared in the battle image from 100,000 years ago. However, this time, the distance was even closer. Just like this, every 2 days, Lin Xian would take a few steps forward. 10 days later, Lin Xian had already surpassed the previous figure. Previously, there were 3 people sitting cross-legged there. At this moment, he had already surpassed one of them. There were still 2 people in front of him. Huiyu felt that extremely terrifying power and immediately opened his eyes. Then, sweat flowed down his face. So terrifying. As expected of a peerless expert. It had been 100,000 years, but he was still so terrifying. This place was truly too mystical. Even though he came from the buried Emperor Star, he had to admit that this place made him feel incomparably mysterious. However, in the next moment, his pupils shrank. What's going on? Why was there another person in front of him? He recognized the 2 people in front of him. However, at this moment, a third figure had appeared and was standing in front of him. Someone had surpassed him. Who was it? Was it his companion? However, that figure was extremely unfamiliar to him. He even wanted to see the other party's face clearly. However, he knew that although he was not far away, these few steps were extremely difficult to cross. Damn it! Who was it? He was too shocked. Could it be that there were other experts from the Immortal Guardian clan who had entered? That should be the case. He guessed that only the people from the Immortal Guardian clan could surpass him. After all, this group of people had the opportunity to come here to comprehend from the moment they were born. However, even if it was someone from the Immortal Guardian clan, Huiyu was not willing to accept it. He decided to surpass the other party. In the next moment, he closed his eyes and started comprehending again. Not long after he closed his eyes, Lin Xian opened his eyes again and continued walking forward. Soon, he surpassed the second person who had come before him. At this moment, the second person opened his eyes. His face had also become pale. He did not even have the strength to stand up. At this moment, he was stunned. He discovered that someone had surpassed him. Who was it? Was it that guy from the buried Emperor Star? Jing Xiai suddenly turned his head and discovered that Huiyu was still there. Then who was this person? He only took a quick glance and realized that Lin Xian was a stranger. He had never seen him before. This meant that they were not from the Immortal Guardian clan. They should be people from the buried Emperor Star? Had another expert from the buried Emperor Star come? Damn it, this guy was actually so strong that he could surpass him. He gritted his teeth and quickly swallowed a medicinal pill to recover his aura. He was ready to give chase again. Lin Xian, on the other hand, completely ignored the two of them. At this moment, he was completely stunned. This was because he realized that as he moved forward and got closer to the battlefield, he could feel that the battle ahead was also changing. Apart from that heaven-shaking sword strike, Ting, these two experts had also used two more ultimate moves. A figure stood in front of him like a sword god. His cold voice resounded throughout the world. The man-ruler seal was indeed worthy of being an ultimate technique passed down from ancient times. He was indeed strong. On the other side, the battle godlike figure also said, "Your invincible sword is also incomparably terrifying. Although you didn't succeed in obtaining the great dragon sword, your strength is enough to shock me." After Lin Xian heard this, he was too shocked. At this distance, he could actually hear the conversation between the two. It turned out that the heaven-shaking sword was called the invincible move. What was even more shocking was that this sword expert had once wanted to obtain the great dragon sword soul. However, he had failed. He knew that the great dragon sword soul was incomparably powerful. Those who could obtain it were all the strongest people in the world. He could be considered to be heaven-defying luck to be able to obtain it. He didn't expect that the two peerless experts he met were actually related to him. At this moment, the peerless sword expert in front of him spoke again. "Apart from the invincible sword, I have a few more moves. You should also experience them. Is that so? Of the 4 ancient seals, apart from the man-ruler seal, I happen to know one more move. Why don't you experience it as well?" The battle godlike figure also spoke in a deep voice. In the next moment, the aura of the two people changed again. The peerless sword saint's body carried an extremely terrifying aura. It changed from the previous invincible power to an undying and indestructible appearance. It was as if it could last forever. This move was called indestructible. With a slash of the sword, heaven and earth lost their luster. On the other side, the battle godlike expert also formed a seal with his palms. However, it was no longer the man-ruler seal, but another kind of seal. Within his hand's seal, a mountain appeared and began to grow in size. It was like a mountain from the ancient times. The aura on it was too terrifying. It directly pressed down and suppressed all things. This was the mountain-embracing seal. It was another 2 great techniques. It was incomparably sonorous, and it kept shaking between heaven and earth. In the next moment, everything in front of him could not be seen. Lin Xian took a step back, and his face turned pale. He suddenly opened his eyes. It was so terrifying. An extremely cold light bloomed in his eyes. He didn't expect that the man-ruler seal was only one of the 4 ancient seals. In addition, there was also the mountain-embracing seal. He must learn it. In addition, he also wanted to obtain the invincible move and the indestructible move. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath and operated his physique to the extreme. Then, he took a few more steps forward. Damn it, how was this possible? When Jing Ci saw this scene, his face became incomparably ugly. It was already very difficult for him to take a step forward, but the other party was still able to take 2 steps in a row. Damn it, how did this guy do it? And behind him, Wang Yue spat out a mouthful of old blood. He forced himself to walk forward. In the end, he was injured and had no choice but to retreat. However, right at this moment, the mysterious figure at the front stood up. She was a woman with her back facing everyone. At this moment, she took 3 more steps forward and sat down cross-legged again. Even Lin Xian was surprised by the scene before him. Just who was this person? He was not in a hurry. He believed that given time, he would definitely surpass the other party. Next, Lin Xian began to comprehend the 4 techniques in the illusion from 100,000 years ago. Time passed slowly. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. 2 months had passed. In the first month, Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai could not stand it anymore. They could not continue to comprehend. Otherwise, their bodies and souls would be shattered. Therefore, they could only leave the canyon. However, fortunately, the people of the Immortal Guardian clan outside did not attack them. This allowed the 2 of them to breathe a sigh of relief. Although now, their faces were pale and they were even a little injured, they were still very happy. This was because the comprehension in the previous month had allowed them to gain a lot. Although there was no increase in their cultivation, The application and performance of their divine abilities were definitely better than before. Chapter 4370. After the two of them came out, more people went in. Later, even Huiyue had no choice but to come out. Han Chong and the others came out and asked, "How was it?" Huiyue said, "I gained a lot. However, there was a despicable guy who surpassed me. I don't know who he is." When these words were said, the expressions of the surrounding people changed. Could it be that guy? They thought of Lin Xian. Because Lin Xian did not appear from beginning to end. It was impossible. These people's expressions became unsightly. Next, more and more people went in to comprehend. After all, because of the strength of the buried Emperor's star, others were not allowed to enter. Now that Huiyue had come out, others could also enter. Chao Tianxing, Gu Feng, and the geniuses of the Gu family all entered one after another to comprehend. When they saw the battle from 100,000 years ago, they were incomparably shocked. Then, they all focused on comprehending. In the blink of an eye, another month passed. Among them, many people had already come out. Only 5 people were left inside. In addition to the mysterious woman at the front, there was Lin Xian, Gu Feng, Chao Tianxing, and another person from the Immortal Guardian clan. Lin Xian continued to advance. He was very close to the mysterious woman. He was only a step away. In the next moment, he closed his eyes and began to comprehend again. This time, he discovered that a figure had appeared in the battle in front of him. It was the mysterious woman. He was actually able to see her in the battle. It was truly inconceivable. During this period of time, Lin Xian had been comprehending the battle scene. He even used the heavenly secret divine eyes to imprint the scene in his mind as much as possible. The man-ruler seal had become even more terrifying after he comprehended it. The power of the man-ruler seal had far surpassed before. Although the mountain-embracing seal was mysterious and unfamiliar, it was still one of the 4 immemorial seals. Therefore, he had an innate advantage when cultivating it. As for the unrivaled form and imperishable form, they were extremely terrifying sword techniques. Lin Xian had also comprehended them deeply. After all, the other party had almost obtained the Great Dragon Sword Soul, while he was the owner of the Great Dragon Sword Soul. Therefore, with his talent and the Great Dragon Sword Soul, it was not impossible for him to comprehend these 2 moves. Just like that, another 5 days passed. This time, Lin Xian finally took a step forward and stood shoulder to shoulder with the mysterious woman. Finally, he could see who the other party was. Lin Xian turned his head and looked over. In the next instant, the mysterious woman revealed a look of astonishment. He turned his head to look at her. To be honest, she didn't believe that anyone could reach her level. Their gazes clashed in the air, causing the void to shatter. Then, both of them revealed looks of surprise. "It's you. It's you." 2 voices sounded at the same time. Lin Xian was stunned. He knew this person. It was Yin Ruyu. Yin Ruyu was also stunned. She didn't expect it to be Lin Xian. Then, a smile appeared on her face. It was really surprising, but thinking about it, it made sense. There aren't many who can stand shoulder to shoulder with me, and you're one of them. Lin Xian was speechless. He was truly confident. He was already arrogant enough, but he realized that the other party's words were even more arrogant and domineering. "Why are you here? Could it be that you've already entered the buried Emperor's star?" Lin Xian asked. Yin Ruyu nodded. "That's right. I went in earlier than you. Now that I've returned, I'm here specifically for the Eternal Lands. You haven't entered the buried Emperor's star?" She was also surprised. Lin Xian said, "Not yet. However, I've already obtained the qualifications to enter the buried Emperor's star. I estimate that I'll be able to enter in a few months. I'm looking forward to it. I wonder what kind of expression those fellows in the buried Emperor's star will have when they see you. I think that you'll stir up a storm in the buried Emperor's star. Am I that kind of person?" Lin Xian smiled. However, thinking about it, he was afraid that it was true. After this group of people entered the buried Emperor's star, they would definitely stir up a new storm. "All right, I don't have much time. I can't comprehend it for a long time. So, let's meet again in the buried Emperor's star." Yin Ruyu also nodded. "All right, After you go to the buried Emperor's Star, come to the Demon Emperor Mountain to find me. All right, let me tell you something. There's more than one Eternal Lands. If you have the opportunity in the future, you can find a few more. Lin Xian nodded and did not say anything else. He memorized this information in his heart and then comprehended it with all his might. 10 days later, he left. Indeed, he did not have much time because he still had to go to the buried Emperor's Star. If he missed this opportunity, who knows how many 100 years he would have to wait. This time, Lin Xian's harvest could be said to be enormous. Apart from the man-ruler seal becoming even more powerful, he also obtained several other treasures. Apart from that, he obtained 3 divine abilities: Mountain-Embracing Seal, Imperishable Form, Invincible Form. Apart from this, he also met an old friend, Yen Ruyu. He also obtained some information regarding the buried Emperor's Star. What surprised him the most was that Han Chong and the others that he had heard before were all from the paradise. Yen Ruyu came from the Demon Emperor Mountain. Thinking about it, the buried Emperor's Star's situation should be even more complicated. Furthermore, it was said that it had connections with many clans and sacred grounds in the true spirit world. Just as Lin Xian left at the same time, in the core area of the Immortal Guardian clan's Voidland, an old man opened his eyes. The surrounding people were unceasingly kneeling and kowtowing. Greetings, clan head. This old man was the Immortal Guardian clan's clan head. At this moment, he woke up from his cultivation and asked in a deep voice, "Is everything all right? Nothing happened, right?" He was just asking because he believed that no one would dare to behave atrociously in their territory. However, this time, a middle-aged man said, clan head, something did happen." "Oh, what happened?" The old man was surprised. "It's like this. There was a person who did not have the qualifications to enter. However, he was extremely powerful and directly suppressed over 10 of our disciples. Then, he came in forcefully and even entered the Eternal Canyon ahead." There was actually such a thing? The Immortal Guardian clan's clan head immediately frowned. "You didn't make a move?" The surrounding people said, "We all wanted to make a move. However, that kid's speed was too fast. From fighting to suppressing him, it only took him over 10 moves. Furthermore, at that time, we were right outside the Eternal Canyon. We were afraid that a fight would affect the canyon. Thus, we did not dare to rashly make a move. By the time we were preparing to dispatch experts, we discovered that the kid had already entered the Eternal Canyon. Furthermore, at this time, another person said that our disciple said that the kid seemed to be someone who was abandoned by the immortal realm." Hearing this, the old man from the Immortal Guardian clan stood up. "What? Someone who was abandoned by the immortal realm? In that case, he could not be allowed to live. You all can handle this matter." "Yes, clan head. Rest assured, we will definitely handle this properly." As for the elders below, they all left. Chapter 4371. After coming out, a purple-haired elder said coldly, "Follow me." "Has that person come out yet?" "Elder, he hasn't come out yet. However, his 2 companions have already come out." "All right, let's capture his 2 companions first. I want to see if he will escape or not." Soon, the people from the Immortal Guardian clan moved out. Although Guan Songhai and Qin Xian'er's strength had increased greatly, they were still outnumbered. Soon, they were suppressed. Lin Xian did not know about this. When he came out, he narrowed his eyes. He wondered how Xian and Songhai were doing. Did they obtain any good fortune? He came out and was about to ask. However, he realized that the 2 of them were not there. What's going on? The 2 of them were definitely not in the canyon. However, they were not outside the canyon. Could it be that they had left in advance? Impossible. Lin Xian shook his head. Unless there was something special going on, the 2 of them would not have left without saying a word. Damn it, could it be that the people from the buried Emperor's Star or the Immortal Guardian clan had made a move? When the surrounding people saw Lin Xian come out, they also had a cold look. At this moment, the void in front of him fluctuated and a few figures walked out. "You should be the person who was abandoned by the immortals, right? How dare you come here without permission?" Kneel down obediently and come with us. Lin Xian's face was also cold. He asked, "Did you capture my two companions? Brat, you can't even protect yourself. Why are you still in the mood to care about others?" The people from the Immortal Guardian clan sneered. This time, it was not only the young geniuses but also the older generation. Their eyes were filled with disdain. So what if he's strong? Can he beat the young disciples? Can he beat the older generation experts? Boom. Lin Xian's eyes exploded with a cold light. You dare to touch the people around me? Looks like you don't know what's good for you. As he spoke, he slapped out with his palm. You're courting death. The people on the other side were furious when they saw this scene. One of them clenched his fist and punched out, colliding with Lin Xian's man-ruler seal. Earlier, his eyes were filled with disdain. However, when the two of them collided, his expression changed. Not good. How could this power be so terrifying? With a cracking sound, his entire arm was broken. He spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying. His face was extremely pale. How could this be? The surrounding people were all stunned. The people of the Celestial Guardian clan narrowed their eyes. Their opponent was actually so strong. Let's attack together. The other three experts of the older generation moved out quickly. The laws on their bodies surged out, turning into extremely terrifying palms that slammed over. Lin Xian could see that it was an imitation of the man-ruler seal. However, the difference was too great. These people had not obtained the inheritance of the human ruler's seal, nor did they have the great dragon sword spirit. Therefore, the power that they could display was not even 1 in 10,000. How could they contend against the true human ruler's seal? The next moment, he took a deep breath and displayed the true man-ruler seal. With a loud boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The three of them were sent flying. The palms of the three were completely shattered. Their eyes were filled with deep fear. How could this be? How could their opponent be so strong? This was the human ruler seal. This guy's human ruler seal was even more terrifying than ours. The surrounding people were all stunned. The people of the Celestial Guardian clan were even more shocked. They had been in the void all this time, so they could often comprehend the eternal battle inside. Naturally, they knew that there were extremely terrifying mystic skills inside, but no one could completely obtain them. They could only rely on their own comprehension to display them. Even so, it was not something that ordinary mystic skills could contend against. Now that the three of them had displayed that kind of giant palm, they thought that their opponent would definitely not be able to block it. However, who would have thought that their opponent's attack was even stronger than theirs? It was exactly the same as the one in the eternal battlefield. With another man-ruler seal, Lin Fan rushed forward and crushed his opponent. The three of them were beaten until they spat out blood, their faces filled with despair. Lin Xian stepped on the heads of these people and asked coldly, "Tell me, where are my two friends? Damn it, how dare you?" Before he could finish, Lin Xian kicked the body of one of them, causing it to explode. Then, he stared at the second person. Speak or not. The second person's face turned extremely ugly. I say, come with me. They were originally here to tell their opponent the news. However, they had been arrogant and thought that the three of them could kill their opponent. That was why they were in such a state. Now that they could not defeat their opponent, they would naturally lure their opponent over. After all, they had already set up an inescapable trap there. Let's go. Lin Xian led the two of them and flew forward quickly. He had to save Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai. Soon, he arrived at the front and saw Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai being suppressed by two huge mountains. Their faces were extremely pale. They even had injuries on their bodies. Instantly, Lin Xian's eyes emitted an incomparable murderous intent. When the surrounding Immortal Guardian clan saw this scene, they also stood up. Brat, you're here. Prepare to die. Boom. With a loud sound, Lin Xian smashed the two Immortal Guardian clan elders. The murderous intent on his body was incomparable. How dare you attack my friends? Go to hell. The aura on his body became more and more terrifying. Then, he slapped out. Damn it, how dare you injure our people? On the opposite side, the Immortal Guardian clan were also enraged when they saw this scene. They attacked crazily. In an instant, 6 figures charged over. The void was constantly shattering. Countless large cracks spread in all directions. They wanted to kill Lin Xian forcefully. However, after one attack, the 6 figures were forced back with fear in their eyes. Man Ruler's seal. So strong. Could it be that he was so talented that he could comprehend to such a level in just a few months? Damn it. Kill. The immortal guardian clan people charged over once again. Lin Xian held the sword in his hand. Sword chi was condensed by him. Then, an invincible sword slashed down. The sky-piercing sword chi caused the heavens and earth to collapse. This sword seemed to be invincible. Instantly, those people vomited blood and were sent flying. Their bodies were torn apart. Too strong. Those young disciples' eyes were filled with despair. To be honest, they had always thought that they were high and mighty. They had never put the sacred city or sacred ground in their eyes. Perhaps only the people from the Emperor race and buried Emperor Star could make them take them seriously. But now, a young man from the second astral realm was actually so strong. Not only did he make these young people feel despair, but even those of the older generation were beaten to the point that they could not fight back. It was really hard to believe. Chapter 4372. Lin Xian became more and more courageous as he fought. His expression was incomparably cold. Kill. With another cold shout, Lin Xian immediately split the 2 mountains apart with an invincible sword. He saved Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai. Are you all right? Lin Xian took out pills and gave them to the 2 of them. The 2 of them gritted their teeth and said with ugly expressions, they were fine, just a little injured. Damn it. These people were too despicable. Don't worry, I'll take you away, Lin Xian said. The surrounding people all charged forward, blotting out the sky and covering the earth. You want to leave here? How naive. I don't believe that you are truly invincible. Kill. More and more people rushed over. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with a biting cold killing intent as he formed a seal with his palms. A mountain appeared between heaven and earth, as if it had crossed the ancient primordial era and directly suppressed the world. The surrounding people were stunned in an instant. Their faces were filled with fear. Mountain-embracing seal. This brat was actually able to unleash this divine ability? Catch him. He has secrets on him. Someone roared and tore through the void, arriving behind Lin Xian and quickly charging over. Lin Xian waved his sword chi and swept in all directions. The 10 ultimate sword formation was activated, shattering everything. At the same time, he used the Tai Chi art. The Tai Chi art flew out and split the 6 figures apart. Boom. He used the mountain-embracing seal again. Impossible. This time, even the elders were stunned. Using a peerless divine ability like the mountain-embracing seal once had already consumed too much energy. His body couldn't withstand using it twice in a row. How did this kid do it? Lin Xian attacked forcefully and fought in all directions. Previously, the people of the Immortal Guardian clan were disdainful, but now they were really desperate. They realized that with so many of them, they might not be able to stop the other party. Go and get the Patriarch. These people roared. Buzz. In the sky, a huge palm slapped over. Its power was boundless, carrying the aura of a Saint King. Lin Xian's pupils constricted when he saw this scene. Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai couldn't escape at all. Their bodies were extremely cold. The attack of a Saint King. Were they going to die? However, at this moment, Lin Xian took the 2 away. Then, a pagoda appeared. Clang. The Great Sage Tower was shaking non-stop. Even though they were inside, Lin Xian and the others felt their blood boiling. Boom. He was actually forced to retreat. But fortunately, they blocked this attack and retreated into the distance. The surrounding Immortal Guardian clan members all laughed coldly. Humph, this brat is dead for sure. With the Patriarch personally making a move, how could he possibly escape? However, when they saw that the 3 people in front of them were actually unharmed, their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. How could this be? That was an attack from a Saint King. Lin Xian's face turned cold as well. How terrifying. The Saint King's giant palm was truly terrifying. Looks like there's going to be a tough battle coming up. A sharp light burst out from his eyes. Right now, he even dared to challenge a Saint King. No wonder you dared to be so arrogant in the Voidland. Between heaven and earth, an old voice rang out. Then, an old man walked out. He stood above the 9 heavens, his body carrying a terrifying law that covered the sky. It seemed like the immortal Guardian clan was equally despicable and shameless. The Saint King actually dared to make a move on the younger generation. Don't you think you've lost face? There's no need to talk about rules when dealing with people like you who have been abandoned by the immortals. The old man in the sky said in a cold voice. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Is that so? I'm the temple master and also a member of Wushuang City. If you kill me, you'll become an enemy of the temple and Wushuang City. Also, these 2 friends of mine are also the top geniuses of the 2 saint cities. Have you thought about how you're going to deal with the attacks from the saint cities? Lin Xian stood there, his voice resounding. So what if the Voidland was strong? As expected, the surrounding immortal Guardian clan members all sucked in a breath of cold air, their faces changing. However, the immortal Guardian clan leader sneered. Looks like you don't know us well enough. We don't care about a mere saint cities. Moreover, I won't kill your 2 friends. I only want to kill you. So, kneel down and accept your death. A cold killing intent appeared between heaven and earth. Lin Xian's face turned even colder. We won't leave. We'll advance and retreat with Lin Xian. Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai said coldly. They were now firmly on Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seemed like he could only fight with all his might. The great dragon sword soul in his body roared, and a terrifying aura surged out. Lin Xian was going to use his trump card. In the sky, the immortal Guardian clan leader sneered. It's useless. No matter what you use, it's useless in front of a true Saint King. He raised his palm again, and it was about to land. A shocking battle was about to break out. However, at this moment, a sigh was heard. Stop. Who dared to meddle in their affairs at this moment? The immortal Guardian clan members sneered. Because from the voice, it sounded incomparably young. The immortal Guardian clan leader snorted coldly. Who dares to meddle in my affairs? I said stop. At this moment, the void shattered, and a phantom appeared. It was a peerlessly beautiful woman, like a fairy from the 9th heaven. The moment she appeared, she stared at the immortal Guardian clan's leader. What? Can't you understand my words? Lin Xian is my friend. Try and lay your hands on him. This person was the woman from the buried Emperor Star. Many immortal Guardian clan members were shocked. Even if she was from the buried Emperor Star, she shouldn't be so arrogant. However, the immortal Guardian clan's leader's pupil shrank. He knew more information. The identity of the person in front of him wasn't ordinary. His expression became ugly. He didn't expect that the person who was abandoned by the immortal realm would be related to this person. Fairy Yin. He's abandoned by the immortal realm. Think carefully. The phantom that appeared was Yin Ruyu. She didn't say anything and just stared coldly at the other party. Seeing that Yin Ruyu didn't reply, the immortal Guardian clan's leader sighed. Okay, I know. This time, I won't attack him. Fairy Yin, I won't do anything in the Voidland. But if I meet him again in the future, I'll be fine. If I meet him in the future, don't blame me for being impolite. In the sky, Yin Ruyu's figure slowly disappeared. As for the immortal Guardian clan's leader, he stared at Lin Xian. Brat, you're lucky. This time, I'll spare you. You can leave. Who is this person? He's so young. He should be from the younger generation. However, he was able to influence the sacred venerate's decision. Guan Songhai and Qin Xianer were both stunned. What shocked them even more was that this person was friends with Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also shocked. It seemed that Yin Ruyu's identity in the buried Emperor Star wasn't ordinary. Otherwise, why would a sacred venerate be so afraid of her? The surrounding immortal Guardian clan members also didn't understand. However, they didn't dare to disobey their leader's orders. Thus, they could only gnash their teeth and stare at Lin Xian and the other two. Lin Xian sneered. Immortal Guardian clan, very good. I'll remember you. The next time we meet, I'll kill all of you, including you, the sacred monarch. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at the sky. His eyes were emitting a biting cold aura. Chapter 4373. How dare you? The people of the Immortal Guardian clan roared. The clan leader of the Immortal Guardian clan snorted. He didn't care about such danger at all. To him, the other party was just an ignorant ant. How would he know how powerful a sage king was? Let's go. Lin Xian waved his hand and led Guan, Songhai, and Qin Xianer outside. No one dared to stop them as they passed. Looking at the two disappearing figures, the elders of the Immortal Guardian clan also came over. Clan leader, are you really going to let this kid leave just like that? Yeah, who is that woman? Why should she be afraid of him? There's no need to talk about this. I'll spare his life this time. However, he's an abandoned immortal. One day, we'll tear him into pieces. The clan leader of the Immortal Guardian clan was also extremely unhappy. However, when he thought of Yin Ruyu's identity, he felt a tinge of fear in his heart. We're finally out. Qin Xianer heaved a sigh of relief. Guan Songhai's expression also eased a lot. This time, it was really too dangerous. Fortunately, they came out safely. When they thought of their gains inside, they clenched their fists. Outside, there were still a lot of people outside the Voidlands. They continued to wait. At this moment, someone exclaimed, "Look, someone came out." They all looked over. Who is it? It's those three people. When they saw Lin Xian and the other two, they were also shocked. Previously, the three of them had fought their way in. Originally, they thought that these people would definitely die after entering. But now, it seemed that this wasn't the case. These people actually came out safely. How is this possible? Some of the older generation experts were shocked. The Immortal Guardian clan didn't attack them? What happened? Or do these three people have some mysterious identity? Facing these people's gazes, Lin Xian and the other two didn't care. They rose into the air and prepared to leave. However, at this moment, a biting cold aura blocked their way. Who dares to attack us? Lin Xian frowned. Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai were also on guard. This aura carried a very strong power. In the next moment, they saw three figures descending from the sky. One of them was the blue-robed man who had fought with Lin Xian before. He stared coldly at Lin Xian. "Kid, you're finally out. People from the buried Emperor's star." "What? Wasn't the lesson I taught you last time not enough?" Lin Xian looked at the blue-robed man. The blue-robed man snorted coldly. "Don't be so arrogant. Last time, we were in the void, so I didn't dare to use my full strength. But now that you've come out, we don't have any scruples." This blue-robed man was called Xinglan. At this moment, he said coldly, "I will let you know the consequences of offending us." Lin Xian cast a disdainful glance at Lin Xian. "You? Before we entered the canyon, you were already not my match. Do you think you can contend against me now? You're the one who bullied my junior brother." At this time, another figure besides Xinglan spoke up. His aura was stronger than Xinglan's. "This is my senior brother, Daopa. Kid, you're dead meat." Xinglan sneered. After Lin Xian heard this, he laughed. "If you're such a piece of trash, I'm sure your senior brother isn't much either. Hurry up and scram. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." After the surrounding people heard this, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. This kid actually dared to be so arrogant in front of the people from the buried Emperor's star. He was too reckless. In front of them, Dao Po's lips curled into a cold smile. "Arrogant enough. But I want to see if you have the right to be arrogant." As his voice fell, he stepped forward. Then, he pointed his finger. A saber light, with an indomitable aura, slashed directly at him. This saber strike was truly too terrifying. A scorching aura filled the air. Everywhere the saber light passed, the void shattered. That surge of power caused the expressions of the surrounding experts to change. "Be careful." Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai cried out in alarm. Lin Xian said, "Don't worry, I can handle it." He took a step forward and slapped out. Boom! The powerful force shattered heaven and earth. In an instant, the two of them clashed in the air. Suddenly, a terrifying energy swept out in all directions. Did he block it? When Daopa saw that Lin Xian dared to fight with him directly, a cold look appeared in his eyes. He sneered and waved his hand. A long saber appeared in his hand. He was a saber wielder and a peerless saber saint. On the long saber, there was a shocking light that pulsed like starlight. It swept towards Lin Xian. Boom, boom. The light was extremely terrifying. In the process of colliding with Lin Xian's fist, it split open and emitted a terrifying aura. It was as if it wanted to burn Lin Xian's fist. What a terrifying saber light. Behind them, Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai were shocked. The surrounding people also held their breaths. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The power of flames could burn everything, but it couldn't hurt his body. With a cold snort, he clenched his hand into a fist and unleashed the Tiger Demon Fist, capable of total annihilation. A sound like a tiger's roar roared between heaven and earth. In heaven and earth, the phantom of a ferocious tiger appeared and charged towards the terrifying saber light. At the same time, Lin Xian formed a seal with his palm and struck out with the man-ruler seal. As if it was the hand of a god from ancient times, it slapped forward. Daopo's face was extremely ugly. He didn't expect Lin Xian to be able to block his saber light. Not only that, Lin Xian could even launch a counterattack. He couldn't stand it. With a roar, an extremely powerful force surged out of his body. I'll let you see what I got in the Eternal Canyon. After speaking, an extremely terrifying aura surged out of his body as if it was going to break through heaven and earth. Take my saber. He roared and held the long saber with both hands and slashed down. So powerful. Countless people exclaimed. Qin Xiener and Lin Xian, Er's pupils shrank. They could naturally see how terrifying this saber was. It seemed that Lin Xian had also comprehended the invincible sword. Too powerful. What exactly did these people find in the Voidland? The surrounding people were extremely envious. In the face of such a shocking saber light, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. You want to compete with me? You're courting death. Then, I'll let you see what I got. After speaking, he roared. A strand of sword qi condensed in his hand, which he gripped tightly before slashing forward as well. Invincible sword. At this moment, Lin Xian looked as though he was invincible. The sword aura pierced through heaven and earth and charged forward. Boom. The saber and sword collided and swept out in all directions. The two forces were competing. Everyone quickly retreated. Even Xinglan and Lin Xian retreated far away. Xinglan's face became extremely ferocious. To be honest, he originally thought that his senior brother would be able to kill Lin Xian easily. But now, it seemed that after so many moves, Lin Xian was still able to resist. Chapter 4374. This was especially true for his senior brother. After his senior brother unleashed his ultimate technique, his opponent was not at a disadvantage at all. In fact, the power of his opponent's sword qi was even stronger than his senior brother's. Boom, boom, boom. It was as if a great apocalypse had occurred in front of them. Then, the saber light was actually torn apart, splitting into two halves. Daopo's pupils shrank. He instantly retreated, turning into countless saber lights that scattered in all directions. Only by running into the void crack did he manage to dodge the attack. In the next moment, he walked out. However, his expression was extremely ugly. Unparalleled sword. His expression was cold. He could naturally tell that the sword attack that Lin Xian had unleashed was very similar to the one in the everlasting battlefield. Brat, you're quite capable. However, I wonder if you'll be able to block my buried Emperor Star's ultimate technique. Clearly, Daopo was going to unleash the ultimate technique that he had learned from the buried Emperor Star. Taking a step forward, he let out a furious roar, and a terrifying law swept out. The heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. A saber light condensed in front of him, and he grabbed it. An extremely berserk aura was emitted from it, sweeping out in all directions. The might of the flames was also surging non-stop. 5-wind blazing saber. Clearly, this was an extremely terrifying ultimate technique. Boom. When the saber slashed out, the terrifying saber light caused the surrounding people's expressions to change. No late-stage holy venerate could block this saber attack. It seemed that his senior brother was finally serious. In that case, this battle could finally end. In the distance, when Xing Lan saw this scene, the corners of her mouth rose into a smile. Soon, this brat would know what despair was. Daring to fight against them was simply courting death. Was this the buried Emperor Star's ultimate technique? Lin Xian sneered. He formed hand seals and slapped out the man-ruler seal once again. As he slammed his palm forward, the surrounding power of the heavens and the earth shattered continuously. Everyone's expressions changed. Even Xing Lan and the others, who were sneering in the distance, narrowed their eyes. Boom! The wind and clouds changed between heaven and earth. It was as if a god had appeared. This aura caused countless people to cry out in alarm. How terrifying! What kind of divine ability was this guy using? Most likely, even ordinary holy cities wouldn't have such a divine ability. Where did this guy get it from? Yeah, why do I feel like it's even stronger than the martial arts I got from Burial Earthstar? The surrounding people cried out in alarm. In the distance, Xing Lan's expression also turned ugly. He gritted his teeth and said, "This was the man-ruler seal. This kid had actually learned so many martial arts in the everlasting battlefield." It was truly unbelievable. One had to know that they had also gone in, so they naturally saw it. The unique skills in battle also made them envious. However, with their cultivation bases and talents, it was impossible for them to master such a lost technique in a short period of time. Moreover, the terrifying pressure brought about by the battlefield prevented them from comprehending for a long time. Thus, not a single person was capable of unleashing such power. But now, Lin Xian had done it. Dao Po's pupils constricted. Impossible. It was just a facade. I don't believe that he can beat the saber art that I've been practicing all this time. In the next moment, he roared angrily. He executed the saber technique in his hand to the extreme. Boom! Between heaven and earth, a huge saber light swept across. The surrounding people retreated once again. With such an aura, even a sacred sage would be turned into ashes instantly. In the face of such a terrifying unique skill, Lin Xian attacked forcefully. The man-ruler seal was completely unleashed. Boom! Under the might of this palm strike, the entire world began to tremble non-stop. Under countless shocked gazes, the two unique skills finally collided fiercely again. It was as if 10,000 claps of thunder had sounded. An astonishing power spread out in all directions. At that moment, the surrounding ground broke open and the sky tumbled. A surge of energy rushed up to the clouds and tore the void apart. This time, the crowd retreated even further. In fact, even those in the void came out to watch the battle when they saw this scene. When they saw this scene, they were equally shocked. At that moment, amidst the light that filled the sky, a cold voice rang out. The unique skill of Burial Emperor Star was only SOSO. After that, the man-ruler seal descended from the sky and became even more terrifying. Roar! There seemed to be a dragon's roar in heaven and earth. Then, with a cracking sound, cracks appeared on the huge saber light once again. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people's pupils shrank fiercely. Impossible! Even Xing Lan's heart was in her mouth. Could it be that her senior brother was going to lose? She couldn't believe it. At that moment, another voice rang out. Damn it, I won't lose. It was the voice of the saber soul. He roared angrily. The shattered saber light did not scatter. Instead, it gathered together again, and a blood-red light appeared on top of it. It was obvious that he was already using his secret skill and even burning his blood. He was going to use his full strength to unleash a shocking saber attack. Sure enough, under such a crazy activation, the five-wind blaze saber technique became even more terrifying. One saber light even turned into 5 saber lights. They enveloped the void. Useless brat, I'll let you see my strongest unique skill. Kill them all. Under such a violent attack, very few people below the sacred ruler realm could withstand it. Lin Xian took a deep breath and formed another seal with his palms. Then, a deep voice sounded. Mountain embracing seal. Heaven and earth kept shattering. A huge mountain seemed to have crossed time and space and appeared above the nine heavens. Then, it fell fiercely. Boom! The earth instantly split open, and those people in the distance were also sent flying by a burst of power. Many people vomited blood. They were terrified. What is this? Could it be that the mountain was an illusion? Why do I feel like it's a sacred mountain? Countless people were in a terrible state. Their faces were filled with fear. It was the mountain embracing seal. Seeing this scene, Xinglan also exclaimed. The people of the immortal guardian clan naturally saw it too. Their eyelids twitched violently. Damn it, this brat's talent is too strong. Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, the majestic godly mountain began to descend. It collided with the five sabers. Instantly, another wave of super-powerful energy swept out in all directions. However, this time, the five saber lights could not withstand it and were all shattered. Damn it! How is this possible? Daopo's face turned ugly. What is this? He had never seen it before. However, he felt that this aura was very terrifying. It was as if it could suppress everything. When the five saber lights shattered, he vomited blood and his face turned pale. In the next moment, he frantically retreated. However, he was still a step too late. His back was covered by the mountain, and he immediately vomited blood and was sent flying. His arms were first broken and turned into a bloody mist. Then, half of his body disappeared. Chapter 4375. Boom, boom, boom. Between heaven and earth, there was chaos. After a long time, the image of the sacred mountain slowly disappeared. In the next moment, everyone looked carefully. There was sacred blood floating between heaven and earth. It was abnormally terrifying. Was he injured? Everyone was shocked. Xinglan clenched his fists. He almost fainted from shock. He realized that his senior brother was injured. It was a serious injury. Half of his body was broken, and he looked extremely miserable. The people from the immortal guardian clan were stunned once again. Between heaven and earth, there was silence. How was this possible? I actually lost. Daopa spat out blood. He couldn't believe that he was defeated by an ant in his eyes. As for Lin Xian, he walked over with a mocking look in his eyes. The buried Emperor Star's secret technique was only so-so. Or was it that he was too trash and couldn't unleash the power of the secret technique? They had all seen the image of the battlefield. However, he realized that Lin Xian's secret technique seemed to be stronger than his. Could it be that Lin Xian's talent was above his? What a joke. As a genius from the buried Emperor Star, he couldn't accept this. It was a slap in the face. It was a ruthless slap in the face. He, who had always been high and mighty, was now being stepped on. Daopa couldn't accept this. Qin Xianer sneered. I was wondering how powerful he was to dare to stop us. Now, it seemed that he was only a... Guan Songhai snorted. With such a cultivation, he dared to challenge Brother Lin? He was courting death. Go back and cultivate for another 1,000 years. Damn it. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to tear you into pieces. Daopa roared into the sky. Xinglan and another person also flew over. As they approached, their expressions were cold and their bodies emitted a terrifying aura. Why? Do you want to attack together? Do you think I'm afraid of you? Guan Songhai snorted. A terrifying ocean appeared on his body. I haven't lost yet. At this moment, Daopa stood up again. His body had returned to normal and his face was pale. However, his eyes were blood red. In the next moment, a force rushed out from his body and turned into a blood-red saber. He slashed out. After this slash, the laws of the 9 heavens and 10 earths burned. At the same time, half of the blood on Daopo's body was instantly burned clean. Blood Demon slashed with his mad blade. A ferocious voice resounded between heaven and earth. Xinglan and the other woman gasped in surprise. Were they going to use their trump card? Qin Xianer and Guan Songhai also frowned. Naturally, they could feel how terrifying this strike was. He had probably already surpassed the holy venerate realm. Lin Xian also laughed. Why? Do you want to risk your life? But do you have the qualifications to do so? Kid, you're dead for sure. The might of this saber strike already surpassed that of a holy venerate, unless one was a holy king. Otherwise, you can just die. As soon as he finished speaking, the blood-red long saber flew over at an unparalleled speed. In the blink of an eye, he arrived above Lin Xian and the other two and descended from the sky. The ground split open, and the surrounding void instantly turned into a black hole. This brat was finally going to die. Xing Lan's lips curled into a sinister smile, even though his senior brother was seriously injured this time around. So what? The fact that they were able to kill the other party showed that they were still powerful. The other party was still an ant. It was impossible for him to make a comeback. The people from the Immortal Guardian clan also laughed. They had wanted to make a move for a long time. However, they didn't have the chance before. Now that they could watch the other party die with their own eyes, they could finally vent their anger. As for Lin Xian, he snorted coldly. The Great Destruction Spear flew out, and he held it in his hand. One strike. The sky fell, and the earth cracked. Boom, boom, boom. A black demonic aura pierced through and collided with the blood-red demonic saber. Suddenly, there was an earth-shattering explosion. In the next moment, the blood-red demonic saber shattered again and turned into a sea of blood that spread in all directions. The sound was like thousands of thunderbolts. How was this possible? Xing Lan was dumbfounded. The people from the Immortal Guardian clan were also stunned. Dao Po's pupils shrank as he stood there in shock. In the next moment, his body swayed and he was sent flying. He was directly pierced by a black spear. Dao Po was completely dumbfounded. In that instant, he had used his most powerful trump card. It could kill any holy venerate. After all, he had used his blood and life as the price. Even so, he hadn't been able to hurt the other party. Instead, he had been pierced by the other party again. Damn it, why was this happening? The immense pain brought him back to reality. Feeling the terrifying aura in front of him, his face turned ugly. It was the aura of a sage king. Damn it, this was the weapon of a sage king. Lin Xian sneered. Do you think you're the only one with a trump card? In my opinion, you're the one who's an ant. He held the Great Destruction Spear and lifted the other party into the air. Blood continued to drip down. The ground below had turned into a huge rift valley. The surrounding people were all stunned. Xing Lan roared. Damn it, let go of my senior. How dare you hurt my senior? You're dead meat. The other person also roared. Dao Po also said, Kid, do you think you'll have a good ending after hurting me? The people from the buried Emperor Star will kill you. Lin Xian snorted. How dare you threaten me at this point? Do you think I don't dare to kill you? With a swing of the Great Destruction Spear, the other party's body was torn into pieces. The blood mist that filled the sky tried to escape with the soul, but Lin Xian used the Tai Chi diagram to slap it back. The Tai Chi diagram descended, forming a space that locked the other party. Do you dare to kill me? Dao Po roared crazily. Lin Xian said, No, I won't. However, there's a situation that's worse than death. If your cultivation is gone, I want to see how you're going to be arrogant then. What? You dare to cripple my cultivation? Dao Po roared crazily. He was truly afraid. I'm from the buried Emperor Star. Do you know what the consequences are for touching me? Lin Xian sneered. It's too late to be afraid now. Even if I don't do anything to you, do you think you'll let me go? Since that's the case, I don't mind teaching you a lesson. I'll let you people from the buried Emperor Star know that there are some people you can't afford to provoke. After saying that, Lin Xian waved his hand and a dragon-shaped sword chi flew out, enveloping the other party's blood mist and soul. The power of the great dragon sword soul destroyed everything and completely destroyed the other party's cultivation. After the sword chi returned, Lin Xian retrieved the Tai Chi diagram. The blood mist that filled the sky once again condensed into Dao Po's appearance. At this moment, he was in an extremely sorry state. He roared crazily. My cultivation, my power. Damn it, you actually crippled me. What? Xing Lan was completely enraged. The two of them wanted to attack. In the distance, there were even people flickering. The people from the Immortal Guardian clan also walked out. Lin Xian said, If anyone dares to come, I'll make them suffer a fate worse than Dao Po's. The great destruction spear bloomed, and a terrifying power enveloped the world. Everyone stopped in their tracks. In the hands of such an expert, unless a true sage king made a move, no one would be able to do anything to him. Lin Xian looked at Xinglan and said coldly, "Go back and tell the buried Emperor's star that it was me who did it. If you're not happy, come and find me. If you dare to make a move on my friends or the people around me, I guarantee that you'll regret it." Chapter 4376. Let's go. After saying that, Lin Xian brought Qin Xianer and Guan, Songhai into the sky and tore through the void. No one dared to stop them during the entire process. After Lin Xian left, these people heaved a sigh of relief. Then, they all cried out in surprise. Too powerful. This guy simply swept through everything. Yeah, I feel like he's like a god of war. He's a young great emperor. Countless discussions rang out. As for the people in the buried Emperor's star, their expressions were incomparably ugly. "Hurry up and bring me back. I won't let him off." Daopa also roared crazily. Xinglan also hurriedly brought Daopa and tore through the void to leave. Lin Xian returned to the Jade Lake to check on the situation of the Sage Kings. The Sage Kings had already left. Even the unparalleled Sage King wasn't there. This surprised Lin Xian. "What's going on?" The Jade Lake Sacred Master walked out and said, "These people's injuries were more or less healed. It seemed like something urgent had happened. So, these people left. What's going on?" Lin Xian was surprised. He didn't know. However, he received another piece of news. The Crimson Dragon and the others had also returned. They even came here to look for him. Are they back? Lin Xian was overjoyed. This way, he could bring these people to the buried Emperor's star. Lin Xian prepared to return to the Divine Palace. After returning, he ordered the Divine Palace's people to look for the Crimson Dragon and the others and asked them to return quickly. After all, it hadn't been long since they entered the buried Emperor's star. With the Divine Palace's powerful strength, they started to search and send out messages. Sure enough, they were finally summoned back. "Damn, kid, what are you doing? Ben Huang is looking for treasures. Don't delay, Ben Huang." After the Crimson Dragon arrived, he started to make a big fuss. The toad also said, "Where's that kid? Hurry up and accompany me." After he arrived, he stared at Lin Xian. "Kid, you dared to bully me before. See how I'll take revenge now." Previously, he had entered several places with the Crimson Dragon, and his strength had greatly increased. Now, after coming here, he wanted to attack Lin Xian. The toad laughed at the sky. An extremely powerful voice flew out and covered the sky as if it was the voice of the heavens. Lin Xian didn't care at all. He slapped out with his man-ruler seal, tearing apart the law of sound. Then, he used the mountain-embracing seal to completely suppress the toad. In just 2 moves, the toad was beaten down. He cried out in surprise. Holy shit, what kind of divine ability was this? It was too powerful. The Crimson Dragon was also shocked. "Kid, when did your strength become so strong? I don't think there are many holy venerables who are your match. Beyond that would be the strength of a Saint King. You can't be so heaven-defying that you can fight against a Saint King, right? These should be the lost 4 primordial seals, right? You actually know 2 of them. That's really surprising." Another laughter was heard. Then, Black Mountain, who was wearing a black robe, floated over. The information on him was even more mysterious. Lin Xian was shocked. He grabbed the snow-white monkey and gave it some spirit fruits. At the same time, he said, "Why do I feel that you've become stronger? Aren't you a remnant soul? Can you cultivate too? Of course, don't you know who I am?" Black Mountain said arrogantly. The North Demon also came. After seeing Lin Xian's strength, he was shocked. He thought that he could surpass you. He didn't expect that he would be defeated by you. The group of people gathered together and were very happy. Lin Xian asked the deity's palace to hunt some saint-level beasts for dinner. Then, they started to talk about their own experiences. When they heard that Lin Xian had participated in the Tao debate and obtained the qualifications to enter the buried Emperor's star, their eyes widened in envy. Black Mountain also said, "Good. It's finally going to open. It seems like it's time to enter the buried Emperor's star. Is your fellow going too? But how are you going to go? Lin Xian was shocked. Black Mountain smiled mysteriously. You don't have to worry about that. I have my ways. However, I think it won't be easy for you to enter the buried Emperor's star. What do you mean? Lin Xian was puzzled. Black Mountain said, since the human world has come out, they won't let it go. In the final period, they will attack crazily. So, you have to be careful. Moreover, the buried Emperor's star is much more terrifying than you think. It's not certain whether it's a blessing or a curse. What do you mean by that? Toad, Rainbow Dragon, and the others asked. However, Black Mountain shook his head and said, it's nothing. There are some things that I can't tell you in advance. Otherwise, it will lose the meaning of entering the buried Emperor's star. You have to rely on yourselves. However, is it about the human world? I can help you. After all, I don't like those guys. It seems like there will be a battle. That's good too. Why don't we use our last chance to have a decisive battle with the human world? There's no need for us. I think the deity Dao Union is already planning. Black Mountain said. At this moment, Peacock walked over and said, Palace Master, someone is requesting an audience. She says that she's Qin Xiener and wants to see you. She's here? Let her in. Lin Xian was shocked. They had just separated not long ago. Why was Qin Xiener back? Soon, a beam of light tore through the void and arrived nearby. Lin Xian, you have to help me. Qin Xiener cried. Lin Xian was shocked. What's going on? Qin Xiener said that my master is in danger. Sacred ruler Bue is in danger? Lin Xian was stunned. Did the people of the human world make a move? Qin Xiener shook her head. What's going on? Tell me the details. Next, Qin Xiener said some things. After Lin Xian heard it, he was also shocked. It turned out that it was about the second astral realm. The Joyous Union Palace had always been under the control of sacred ruler Bue. However, she had an enemy, her junior sister, Ziyu. At the same time, she was also a terrifying figure. She had been stuck in the half-step sacred ruler realm. She was only one step away from becoming a true sacred ruler. But for hundreds of thousands of years, she hadn't succeeded in breaking through. Everything had been peaceful. Although there was some conflict, sacred ruler Bue wasn't worried. But now, sacred ruler Bue had brought a genius to the true spirit world and had been injured. On the other side, her junior sister, Ziyu, had broken through and become a sacred ruler. She had taken control of the sacred city and even wanted to kill sacred ruler Bue. Sacred ruler Bue didn't know about this. After returning to the sacred city, she was suddenly attacked. Plus, she had been cursed and supreme Saint Corpse poison. Although she had recovered, her strength wasn't at its peak. She was actually trapped for a while. Her life was probably in danger. Lin Xian frowned. He suddenly remembered Yushirchia. Back then, her strength had increased by leaps and bounds. She had caught the eye of an important figure in the Joyous Union Palace and been taken away. Now it seemed that it was this half-step sacred ruler. Chapter 4377. This was originally a matter of Haihuan Palace, so ordinary people couldn't interfere. However, Lin Xian and Qin Xiener's relationship wasn't ordinary. In addition, Luiyue Saint King was on their side. Therefore, Lin Xian decided to help. Therefore, he said, "Don't worry, I'll help you investigate the situation." Then, he closed his eyes and formed a seal with his hands. He planted an imprint in Yushirchia's soul so he could contact her. As expected, he received a response not long after. It was from Yushirchia. After hearing this, Lin Xian suddenly opened his eyes. His expression was extremely serious. What's wrong? The dark rainbow dragon and the others asked. Lin Xian said, the situation isn't good. I'm afraid this isn't just a matter of Haihuan Palace. Then what was it? Qin Xiener's face was also pale. She had no idea what was happening in the second astral realm. However, Lin Xian said, according to the situation I received, that half-step Saint King's sudden breakthrough didn't seem to be a coincidence. Someone is secretly helping him. It was said that, before the breakthrough, Acheron Palace's silver corpse Saint King had gone there and stayed. He only left after the breakthrough. Could it be that he was the one who helped him? The toad was also shocked. Heishan's eyes flashed. He said, "Based on what you said, Silver Corpse Saint King has connections with the human world. It seemed that the human world was secretly helping him. It seemed that they wanted to use this method to obtain another saint city and increase their strength." "That's right." Lin Xian nodded. Then he said, "We can't let the human world succeed. We have to help Liyue Saint King. I'll go to Jade Lake Sacred Ground and tell the Jade Lake Sacred Leader to contact the other Saint Kings and quickly return to the second astral realm. Otherwise, if they had to use this method, only his saint city would be in danger." Then, Lin Xian started to act. Soon, he returned from Jade Lake Sacred Ground and returned to the temple. "Let's go. We have to hurry to the second astral realm." He didn't bring too many people. After all, it was going to be a great battle between Saint Kings. Numbers didn't have much of an advantage. Lin Xian, Heishan, and the others moved quickly. They took super teleportation. At the same time, the Jade Lake Sacred Leader started to contact the other Saint Kings. Second astral realm. At this moment, the second astral realm was also extremely shocked. That was because they discovered that something shocking had happened. Previously, Wushuang City had disappeared, and then Acheron Hall had suffered heavy losses. All of these things were shocking. Now, these sacred cities had changed again. This news came from the Joyous Union Palace. It was said that the Joyous Union Palace had a new holy master. The original closed Moon Saint King was replaced by the Purple Moon Saint King, who once again commanded the world. This shocked everyone. What was going on? Had the original Saint King fallen? For a moment, everyone was discussing animatedly. The people in the Joyous Union Palace were even more shocked. A few people resisted, not willing to do so at all. In the end, they were forcefully suppressed. A great battle broke out. Many people fled, but even more people were trapped. Submit or be killed. It could be said that the situation was extremely critical. A figure in a purple robe stood in the hall. She wore a crown on her head, and her eyes were filled with boundless sharpness. She was the Purple Moon Saint King. At this moment, there were many people standing in front of him. Some of them were originally his subordinates. Some of them had sought refuge with him, and now they were all listening to his orders. Yu Shijie was also standing among them. The Purple Moon Saint King asked, "Is there still no news of the closed Moon Saint King?" Reporting to the Sacred King, "There is no news yet. We don't know where he is hiding. He was previously poisoned and has not fully recovered. Before he came, he was ambushed by us. Where can he run to when he is severely injured? Seal all the subordinate worlds. I want him to have nowhere to run." The Purple Moon Saint King was in a good mood because she felt that her senior sister was not a threat to her at all. She had waited for this day for too long. "All right, all of you can leave now. Continue to search for news. Once you find him, inform me immediately. Second, quickly make those people submit. If they do not submit, kill them directly. Destroy their souls." Soon, these people went out to carry out their tasks. Only the Purple Moon Saint King was left in the hall. At this moment, the void behind her cracked open. A figure walked out and said coldly, "I have already done it for you. Shouldn't you fulfill your promise?" The Purple Moon Saint King stopped smiling. She said, "What's the hurry? It's not over yet. I want to see my good senior sister's soul destroyed with my own eyes." The cold voice reverberated in the hall. At the same time, in the second astral realm, a huge spatial whirlpool appeared. Then, a few figures appeared. It was Lin Xian and the rest. They are finally back. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Qin Xiener was extremely anxious. She said, "I don't know how it is." Lin Xian said, "I'll know after asking around." Soon, he heard the news. In the end, he found out that the astral realm where the Joyous Union Palace was located and the surrounding subordinate worlds were all sealed. What happened inside could not be spread out. Qin Xiener's face turned ugly. Not good. It seems that she has completely controlled the entire sacred city. Even those worlds have to listen to her orders. If this goes on, I'm afraid all of us will be destroyed. Let's take a look around and wait for the right time. I've already informed the sacred kings. I think those sacred kings will definitely do something about it. They flew forward and soon arrived at the joyous Union Palace. There was indeed a peerless array in front of them. A terrifying aura filled the entire starry sky, making it impossible for people to get close. What a terrifying power! The Crimson Dragon and the rest exclaimed. He Shan's eyes flickered and a smile appeared on his face. I have a way to get in. Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. Qin Xianer was overjoyed. Is that true? Senior, please help me. He Shan said. I can help, but I have some requests. If everything is peaceful in the joyous Union Palace, I have no objections. But if your joyous Union Palace really starts fighting and the world is destroyed, I may help and borrow something. Borrow something? Qin Xianer was stunned. She did not understand what he was saying. She was extremely anxious now. She said, Senior, please help. If you succeed, my joyous Union Palace will be extremely grateful. Whatever Senior needs, my joyous Union Palace and I will give it to you. Very good. He Shan nodded. Lin Xian frowned. What are you planning? He Shan smiled mysteriously. All right, kid. You are also an array expert. Come and help me with that dragon. I want to tear open the array. Let's go in. Next, He Shan, Lin Xian, and the Crimson Dragon took action. The three of them were array experts. In addition, He Shan was a remnant soul of a supreme saint. Lin Xian had a sacred king weapon. Hence, they tore open a corner of the array. Then, he walked in without making a sound. After entering, Lin Xian frowned. There was an extremely strong blood aura inside. The sky was red. It was obvious that there was a great battle earlier. Qin Xianer's face was pale, and she almost fainted. There was no need to think. It was unknown how many geniuses had fallen. Chapter 4378. After entering, everyone was shocked. It seemed that they had to find Luiyue Saint King first. Everyone looked at Qin Xianer. Qin Xianer said, I don't know where she is either. Lin Xian took a deep breath and said, Let me do it. He used his soul imprint to contact Yushirchia and found that Yushirchia didn't know either. Everyone was looking for Luiyue Saint King. Lin Xian said, Luiyue Saint King was injured and ambushed. She's hiding now. I don't know where she is, but it's obvious that she's trapped. We have to find her quickly. At the same time, there might be more than one Saint King here, so we have to be careful. At least, before Peerless Saint King and the others arrive, they had better not find us. Lin Xian had entered the Saint City before. Previously, he had gone to the Acheron Hall with Fu Hongye, but there were conditions at that time. Silver Corpse Saint King wasn't there at that time, and a large number of Acheron Hall's experts had left, so they could sneak in. This time, there were more than one Saint King here, so they had to be very careful. Lin Xian opened his heavenly secret divine eyes and looked around. He saw some special power. It was the aura of a Saint King. Lin Xian led the way and walked towards the Acacia Hall. As the Saint City, the Acacia Hall occupied many worlds. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack. But fortunately, the heavenly secret divine eyes were very magical, so they could follow the general direction. They transformed into the appearance of the Acacia Hall's disciples and flew quickly. But in the end, they still met the people. It was a team of about 50 people. They were also looking for Luiyue Saint King. At this moment, when they saw Lin Xian and the others, they frowned. Who are you? We were ordered to search for Luiyue Saint King, Lin Xian said in a deep voice. He had already disguised himself as a disciple of the Acacia Hall. However, the Taoist in front asked, Which elder are you under? Lin Xian naturally couldn't answer, so he didn't answer. Instead, he waved his hand and a terrifying sword qi spread out. He slashed it directly. The sword qi enveloped the people in front. Courting death, those people shouted angrily and wanted to fight back, but how could they be Lin Xian's opponent? Under this sword, more than 20 people turned into a bloody mist. It was destroyed in an instant. The surrounding people were all stunned. He had killed more than 20 saints with a single strike. How terrifying was that? Damn it! An enemy had come in. They wanted to roar, but the array formation flickered between heaven and earth. The Crimson Dragon sneered with the array formation. It had long been on the defensive. You want to send a message? Impossible. The Toad jumped out as well. Watch me. The two of them attacked and killed all the people in front of them. They set off again. Although the people who were killed were from the Joyous Union Palace, Qin didn't stop them because these people were their enemies. Qin also personally took action. Next, everyone sped up. He could feel that those people were also chasing after the Holy King's aura, searching. If she was found by Purple Moon Saint King's men, then Closed Moon Saint King would be in great danger. Next, they met some enemies again. They attacked and killed those people. However, at this moment, the surrounding fog spread and sealed the entire space. Hundreds of figures appeared in the surroundings. They were wearing cold armor, and their aura was terrifying. In an instant, they covered the surroundings. A cold voice sounded between heaven and earth. Have we been discovered? The Crimson Dragon frowned. Snow White Monkey widened his eyes in confusion. It shouldn't be. Lin Xian was also puzzled. Qin face changed. Oh no, they probably found out that I'm here. As expected, a man in the sky said coldly. Qin, we guessed that you would come back secretly. I didn't expect you to really come. Why? Are you looking for your master? It's useless. She's already severely injured. So you'd better submit to us obediently. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, I'll let you live. Otherwise, I'll let you know what it means to live a life worse than death. The surrounding people sneered. They had hundreds of people on their side and only a few people on the other side. The difference was too big. They didn't care about these people at all. Qin snorted coldly when she heard that. Her face turned cold. You people dare to betray the Saint King. You'll all go to hell in the end. You're really stupid. The man on the other side laughed. The Saint City now belongs to the Purple Moon Saint King. Do you think the Closed Moon Saint King can still live? Your bloodline will be destroyed in both heart and soul. Let's not talk about anything else. Everyone, let's attack together. Lin Xian said coldly. Dragon, set up an array to prevent them from escaping. I'll use it. 10,000 green smoke shrouded the area so that others won't find out. Lin Xian had already decided to attack. The Crimson Dragon said, Leave it to me. He waved his dragon claws, and the array quickly spread out in all directions. Lin Xian also took out the 10,000 green smoke and flew into the sky. Seeing Lin Xian and the rest's actions, the people in front sneered. Why? You guys dare to attack us with just the few of you? You really don't know what death is. You guys are the ones who don't know what death is. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He slapped his palm forward. A terrifying power exploded. The Toad also roared. Watch me. He also rushed over. The North Demon and Qin also attacked. Even the little white monkey turned into a bolt of lightning and shuttled back and forth. In an instant, a huge battle broke out. On the other side, the people from the Joyous Union Palace also roared. You're courting death. Take them down. I want them to live a life worse than death. Godly Toad Fist. The Toad was the fastest. In an instant, it flew to the front. Then, it clenched its claws into a fist and punched out. A terrifying power surged, and it carried a deadly poison. The 6 people in front were originally disdainful. How dare mere ants fight against them? But in the next instant, their bodies were blown apart. The blood mist and souls were covered by the poison. It was the same on the other side. The North Demon was incomparably strong. Countless strange flowers bloomed in the sky and spread out continuously. Instantly, the surrounding people vomited blood. The Crimson Dragon even used the dragon race's mystique, causing the sky to tremble and forcing those people to retreat. Boom! The young man in the lead was also forced back by Qin palm. His entire arm was numb, and his face was extremely gloomy. Damn it! How are these people so powerful? Who are they? Do you really want to be enemies with the Joyous Union Palace? The young man looked around and shouted coldly. But what answered him were all kinds of mystiques. Godly Toad Fist. Dragon's roar. Human king seal. A terrifying mystique flew out and shattered the sky. Those people couldn't withstand it at all and their bodies cracked. Chapter 4379. Damn it, they were too strong. Although there were more than 100 of them, they were constantly retreating. They even collapsed in an instant. Damn it. The face of the young man in the lead became extremely cold. Half of their people had died in an instant. The remaining people were also terrified. He said, "Hurry up and attack. We can't hold on. She had brought too many experts. You are really useless." A cold voice sounded between heaven and earth. The face of the man in the lead became ugly, but he didn't say anything. After all, in this situation, he still had to rely on the other party. In the sky, two old men appeared. They had an endless cold aura. The yellow spring surged under their feet. In an instant, the entire space was painted into hell. Horrifying white bones spread out in all directions. Yellow Spring Hall, it was indeed you. Seeing this scene, Qin Xianer gritted her teeth. Damn it, it was indeed related to these people. Lin Xian's face was also cold. Two half-step Saint Kings? If he was careful, these two people had already surpassed the Saint Venerable. If the two of us join forces, unless you are a true Saint King, you have no chance of surviving. These two people were very strong. They formed seals with their palms and tore open the void. Then, in the void, endless yellow spring water flew out. Inside, an army of white bones appeared one after another. They covered the sky and covered the earth. Even the experts of the Joyous Union Palace who had been killed earlier formed puppets here and charged over. Furthermore, the puppet army was imbued with the magical laws of the Yellow Springs. Under the control of two half-step Saint Kings, the power formed was very terrifying. Attack. The battle between the two sides was extremely terrifying. Lin Xian and the others were indeed strong. They directly smashed out with the man-ruler seal, and countless white bones shattered. But the army of white bones condensed again and formed an even more terrifying existence. Among them was a white-boned skywolf. There was also a white-boned demon ape. These two people seemed to be the leaders, roaring at the sky. They could actually block everyone's attacks. So strong. The toad was shocked. Qin Xianer's face was cold. It seemed that these people were really well prepared. No wonder his master was also plotted against. Kid, to catch bandits, first catch the leader. Seeing this scene, He Shan said in a deep voice. Lin Xian nodded in agreement. He said, Rouzelong, Xianer, you two fight against the army of bones. He Shan and I will kill the two half-step holy kings. Since the two of them have died, I believe that this bone army will no longer be a threat. After saying that, he and He Shan soared into the air and flew forward. You want to fight us? You really don't know what's good for you. In the distance, the two half-step Saint Kings saw this and sneered. Instantly, the terrifying army of skeletons charged over, wanting to swallow the two of them whole. Black Mountain turned into green smoke and instantly dodged these attacks. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was incomparably powerful. He used the man-ruler seal and killed his way through. Everywhere it passed, everything shattered. Nothing could stop it. Like a peerless war god, he came to the front and stared at a half-step Saint King. The half-step Saint King's expression turned cold when he saw that Yi Futian was able to come here. The other person was the same, because he discovered that Black Mountain had also arrived in front of him. Kid, who exactly are you? One of them stared at Lin Xian and asked coldly. Lin Xian said, I'm the one who will kill you. He used the man-ruler seal and charged over. You're courting death. The elder opposite him roared angrily, and yellow spring lightning actually appeared on his body. This was also a very terrifying superpower law. With a cold and destructive aura, it charged over. Streaks of yellow spring lightning intertwined in the surroundings. Two completely opposite powers were used by the other party. It was indeed very strange. In an instant, the surroundings seemed to be covered by dark clouds, covering everything. Lin Xian felt this power and huffed coldly. He released his divine body to the extreme. After all, The other party was a half-step Saint King. He was much stronger than a late-stage Saint Venerable. However, he didn't dodge. Instead, he chose to take it head-on. He unleashed the invincible sword, and a terrifying sword chi slashed forward. This sword carried with it an invincible power. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out, causing the surrounding army of skeletons to shatter into pieces. Qin Xiener and the rest also cried out in alarm as they dodged continuously, avoiding the energy. Then, they fought again. On the other side, Heishan also made his move. After Lin Xian used his sword, he blocked the other party's Law of Yellow Spring. Then, he attacked again. A shocking light appeared in his eyes, covering everything. No matter how fast the other party was, he could also see clearly. At the same time, the man-ruler seal flew out, illuminating the entire world. The old man on the other side was completely stunned. He was a half-step Saint King. How powerful was his strength? But the other party was actually able to contend with him. It was really unbelievable. Go to hell. Endless yellow spring lightning turned into a yellow spring sword, which he held in his hand. He slashed forward. With one sword, he cut Lin Xian apart. However, he realized that it was just an illusion. Lin Xian had already arrived behind the other party. He used the mountain embracing seal. A huge mountain fell from the sky, directly suppressing the other party. With a boom, the elder's body trembled, and he flew backward, spitting out blood. How could it be? Those people in Hahuan Palace were all stunned when they saw this scene. That was a half-step Saint King. How powerful was he? But at this moment, he was actually injured by the other party. Who was this person? Could it be that he was also a half-step Saint King? However, he didn't feel such a terrifying aura. The elder was even more so. His eyes were about to pop out. Damn it! The elder roared angrily. His body shook, leaving behind a skeleton on the ground, and he turned into the water of the yellow spring and escaped into the void. He dodged the full force of the mountain-embracing seal. In the next moment, he tore the void and walked out. His face was extremely cold. Damn, brat, you dare to hurt me. I'll tear you into pieces. At this moment, a crazy roar suddenly rang out, causing everyone to turn their heads to look. The elder's pupils shrank. He could tell that it was the voice of his companion. He turned his head and found that his companion had been completely suppressed by the black-robed man. Even his body was broken. How could it be? Who was this black-robed man? Was he even more powerful? Lin Xian was also surprised. It seemed that Black Mountain's strength was indeed strong enough to suppress the other party. Since that was the case, then he couldn't hold back. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath. Let's end this quickly. An extremely cold light bloomed in his eyes. Man-ruler seal. Like a god of war, he raised one hand and slapped forward. The sky fell, and the earth cracked. At the same time, another palm formed a seal. Another divine mountain appeared in the sky and pressed down. Chapter 4380. Under such a peerless divine power, the elder could only dodge and find an opportunity to attack. He was very shocked now because if the black-robed man attacked, he would have no chance of survival. However, what surprised him was that the other party didn't attack. He seemed to be watching the battle. This made him feel a little more at ease. He had to deal with the kid in front of him first. 5 spirits, earthly fiend fire. A ball of flame appeared in the elder's hand. It was extremely strange. This was the earthly fiend fire. It was formed from the corpses of experts after they died. It had unparalleled power. As he appeared, endless light bloomed. A terrifying aura was as if hell had descended. The ball of flame turned into endless light and charged over like a comet. Lin Xian used the invincible sword and slashed out. With a clang, both of them retreated. Lin Xian's blood boiled, but his eyes were even brighter. He had come to a good place. He had cultivated these divine skills in the eternal battlefield and hadn't had the chance to use his full strength. Now that he had encountered a half-step Saint King, he naturally had to use his full strength to have a peak battle with the other party. It was the invincible sword again. It pierced through the void in an instant, and the flames dimmed. However, the other party's netherworld lightning charged over again. Lin Xian used the indestructible sword again. The undying and indestructible aura swept through everything. Just like that, Lin Xian used his 4 ultimate skills and divine abilities to battle it. At this moment, wherever the two passed, the bone army shattered. He was too strong. He was actually able to fight evenly with a half-step holy king. The North Demon was shocked. Qin Xianer's expression was even more serious. To be honest, he had also seen Lin Xian kill a half-step Saint King. However, that time, he used a Saint King's weapon, which surpassed the power of a Saint Venerable. Now, Lin Xian didn't use a Saint King's weapon at all. He was using his own strength. In other words, Lin Xian's strength alone was enough to fight a half-step Saint King. If he used a Saint King's weapon, how terrifying would it be? Black Mountain looked at this and kept nodding. It seemed that he was indeed the successor of DeLong. Lin Xian was incomparably domineering. Boundless sword light soared into the sky. He was like a supreme immortal king. In the face of such a terrifying power, the old man's face turned incomparably ugly. Damn it! He roared angrily, turned around, and fled. At this moment, he was no longer a match for them. It was best for him to escape quickly. Reporting to the Silver Corpse Saint King, a mysterious expert has arrived. Do you want to leave? The indestructible sword blocked the enemy's path. At the same time, Lin Xian's man-ruler seal continuously slammed out, causing the old man to vomit blood. The old man gritted his teeth. Then, he took out an underworld gourd and cracked it open. A terrifying power swept through everything. Not good. Retreat quickly. When the Crimson Dragon saw this, they quickly retreated. Clearly, the other party was going all out. Lin Xian also felt the terrifying aura. He coldly snorted and didn't hold back. He had already proven his ultimate technique before, and it was no weaker than a half-step Saint King. Now, there was no need to fight anymore. He took out the great destruction and pierced through heaven and earth. The endless void shattered. The old man originally thought that he could escape, but he was instantly pierced through. No, he didn't dare to believe that this was the aura of a Saint King. The other party had the weapon of a Saint King. Damn it. Previously, the other party was fighting with him. Was he training his strength? It really made him despair. The great destruction. Demonic chi exploded and engulfed the other party. Lin Xian kept the other party's storage ring. He looked at He Shan and asked, "Have you collected the soul before?" He Shan nodded and kept it. He could already confirm that the Silver Corpse Saint King was here. As for the others, he still didn't know. Since that was the case, there was no need to keep them alive. Lin Xian then looked at the remaining people from the Joyous Union Palace. Those people fell to their knees with a plop. "Hero, please spare our lives." They kept kowtowing. Previously, they were arrogant because there was a half-step Saint King. But now, the half-step Saint King was killed. How could they be a match for the half-step Saint King? Lin Xian looked at Qin Xianer and said, "These people are from Haiwan Palace. I'll leave them to you." Qin Xianer's expression was cold. Those people looked at Qin Xianer and said, "Spare my life?" "Yes, we were forced to do this." These people crazily begged for mercy. Qin Xianer's expression was cold. She looked at the man in the lead and slashed him with her sword. The man's soul wanted to escape, but it was slapped away by Lin Xian. Then, Qin Xianer killed him. Then, she killed 2 more people. These 3 were the leaders. Qin Xianer didn't kill the people behind them. However, she didn't let them go. Instead, she used a seal. He took out a small bell and sealed all of them inside. She wanted to find her master and deal with these people together. "Let's go." The group went on their way again. They flew into the distance. According to their guess, the closed moon Saint King should be very far from the core of the sacred city. This way, it would be safer. Therefore, they flew in the opposite direction. However, when they arrived at this area, Lin Xian frowned, because they realized that there were very few people here. It seemed that even the number of people searching had decreased. What was going on? Was there something unusual about this place? They looked at Qin Xianer. Qin Xianer said, "I remember now. This place is indeed unusual. Under normal circumstances, the disciples of Huan Palace rarely came here. The toad said, I feel that there's something wrong with this place. The snow-white little monkey looked around curiously and used the treasure bowl to probe. Then, it said, Yeah, there seems to be a treasure. But I don't like this aura. If there was a treasure, then let's look for it. The crimson dragon's eyes lit up and he began to look around. He waved his dragon claws, tearing the earth and the void apart. The toad also made a move. Lin Xian frowned. Don't act rashly. Don't forget our purpose. The toad said, Don't worry, kid. I've always been reliable. When did I miss it? The crimson dragon also said, Don't worry, the two of us won't make a mistake. However, just as he finished speaking, the earth suddenly shook and a force directly sent the two of them flying. Both of them spat out a mouthful of blood, and their faces were filled with fear. What happened? Boom! An extremely terrifying aura appeared. Then, everyone felt the sky and earth spinning as if the sky and earth were collapsing. Black Mountain shouted, Be careful. He formed a seal with both hands and released a mysterious rune that froze heaven and earth. Then, he said, This place is not ordinary. There seems to be something sealed below. Damn, what can be sealed? The toad was about to cry. The crimson dragon also said, No way. Bin Huang actually has a time when he misses. Let's go. Black Mountain brought these people and turned into lightning and left in an instant. In the next moment, the surrounding heaven and earth kept shattering. There was movement. The people who were searching in the distance quickly rushed over. However, in an instant, they were sent flying. Chapter 4381. Damn it! What a terrifying aura. What's going on? Why is there such a terrifying place in the joyous Union Palace? Why didn't they know about it before? Quickly report to the Saint Kings. These people roared crazily. At the same time, Purple Moon Saint King suddenly opened her eyes in the majestic hall. What a terrifying aura. Could it be that the closed moon had recovered? On the other side, Silver Corpse Saint King also walked out from the void. No, it's not your senior sister's aura. It's another aura. How terrifying. Had a peerless greater demon appeared? Or has the demon city arrived? Quick, let's go take a look. The two Saint Kings tore open the void and left instantly. In the next instant, they appeared in the 9 heavens and looked down at the shattered land below with furrowed brows. What a terrifying power! Silver Corpse Saint King looked solemn. Purple Moon Saint King said, I remember this place, but I don't know the details. I didn't expect something powerful to be sealed here. Let's take a look. It might be useful to me. The Silver Corpse Holy King smirked when he sensed the aura. Their Acheron Palace cultivated the law of Acheron, and they could control the powerful white bones. If there really was a corpse sealed below, then, once he gained control of it, he would become unparalleled among Saint Kings. Silver Corpse Saint King threw out an Acheron diagram, enveloping the area below. The Acheron diagram covered the heavens and earth, trying to suppress the thing below. However, a low roar came from above. Then, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. Even the Acheron diagram was sent flying. The aura became more and more terrifying, to the extent that other than the two Saint Kings, no one dared to go near it. Lin Xian and the rest appeared in another place. They hid in the void and looked ahead in shock. What is that? Qin Xianer was shocked. Although she was a disciple of the joyous Union Palace, she never knew that there was such a terrifying existence. Lin Xian was also shocked. He said, The voice seems to be some kind of demonic beast. Do you know what it is? He Shan's eyes flickered and his body trembled slightly. It's that thing. The heavens really don't want me to die. Kid, wait here. There is a great opportunity ahead. I must get it. Go out now? Those are two great Saint Kings. Can you resist them? Lin Xian was surprised. Northern Demon was also worried about his master. However, He Shan said, Don't worry, I won't fight them head-on. The two of them won't be able to find it. When I arrive, I will definitely be able to lend you a helping hand. Not only could he save the BUS Saint King, but he could also increase his power to fight against the world of men. When Lin Xian heard this, he asked, "Then do you need a Saint King weapon? I can give you the Spear of Great Destruction temporarily." He Shan shook his head. "I don't need that, but you can give me 3 dragon-shaped sword chi." "Okay." Lin Xian shot out 3 dragon-shaped sword chis. He Shan waved his hand and put them away. "Stay away for now and wait for the other Saint Kings to arrive. I think it won't take long for this news to spread. At that time, those Saint Kings would also arrive." I went first. Black Mountain entered the void and disappeared. Lin Xian and the others waited patiently. In front, the Silver Corpse Saint King's face turned cold when he saw that his attack was repelled. He said to the Purple Moon and attacked together. Purple Moon Saint King unleashed a round of purple moons and attacked. The Silver Corpse Saint King shot out the underworld gourd, and the 2 mystiques exploded. This time, they were going to suppress it completely. He Shan appeared on the ground below. He formed a seal and slapped out. Countless runes appeared around him as if he was summoning the sealed thing. The sealed thing roared and shattered the 9 heavens. The gourd and the purple moon were sent flying. At this moment, heaven and earth were pierced through. Even the supreme array of the joyous Union Palace was pierced through. A ray of light shot towards the second astral realm. At this moment, the second astral realm heard a low roar. What was that? Countless experts looked into the distance. It was from the direction of the joyous Union Palace. They didn't dare to go. However, a few other figures tore through the void and rushed over. In the next moment, they came out of the shattered formation and arrived in an imposing manner. The surrounding sky collapsed. The people of the joyous Union Palace all looked up in horror. Their faces were pale. There were more than one Saint King's aura. Lin Xian also looked up. "The Devouring Law. Senior brother and the others are here." "That's great." Qin Xiener heaved a sigh of relief. With so many Saint Kings here, they should be able to save Saint King Bue. As expected, Peerless Saint King, Kunlun Saint King, and Wuji Saint King appeared one after another. The Purple Moon Saint King frowned and turned to look. The Silver Corpse Saint King's face was cold. They were really persistent. Peerless Saint King and the other 2 walked over. Their powerful aura suppressed the area. The Purple Moon Saint King said, "Everyone, you came to the Joyous Union Palace without saying anything. You don't seem to care about the Joyous Union Palace and me. Can the 3 of you give us an explanation?" As soon as he said that, the surrounding array became fierce. It was obvious that the Purple Moon Saint King was angry. The Peerless Saint King sneered. "We are old friends with the Joyous Union Palace's Bue Saint King. We came to look for her. As for you, who do you think you are? You don't have the right to be recognized by us." "What did you say?" The Purple Moon Saint King was furious. Was the other party looking down on him? He immediately slapped out a terrifying purple moonlight that pierced through the sky and attacked the Peerless Saint King. The Peerless Saint King sneered and waved his hand. The Devouring Law swallowed the superpower. "You just broke through to the Saint King realm and you dare to challenge me? Do you really think I don't dare to attack you?" The powerful Devouring Law. It covered the area. It was as if it was going to devour everything. The Purple Moon Saint King's face changed when she felt the terrifying power. Indeed, she had just broken through to the Saint King realm, and the Peerless Saint King was an experienced expert. There was still a gap between them. At this moment, the Silver Corpse Saint King walked out. The Bus Saint King had fallen, and the Purple Moon Saint King was in control of the Joyous Union Palace. It was indeed against the rules for them to come uninvited. "Who said that my master has fallen?" At this moment, Qin Xiener rushed out and shouted coldly. Lin Xian and the rest had no choice but to follow her out. "Junior brother." The Peerless Saint King was also shocked. Lin Xian nodded. At the front, the Purple Moon Saint King's face darkened. She didn't know that the other party was here. Were her subordinates useless? She shouted coldly, "Xiener, do you have the right to speak here? Quickly kneel down and wait for your punishment. Who do you think you are? How dare you shout at us?" Lin Xian walked over and shouted coldly, "That's right. Who allowed you to be arrogant in front of me? Kneel down and accept your death." The toad also jumped out and started to clamor. In the distance, the people from the joyous Union Palace were stunned. Oh my God! These people dare to challenge the Saint King. Where did they get their courage from? Chapter 4382. Purple Moon Sage King was also trembling with anger. She could not defeat Peerless Sage King, but she did not care about these people. Today, she would let everyone know how powerful she was. Between heaven and earth, a terrifying Sage King aura appeared, charging towards Lin Xian and the rest, as if wanting to kill Lin Xian and the rest instantly. Lin Xian and the rest sneered, but did not make a move. In front of them, a devouring vortex appeared, blocking all the superpowers. Peerless Sage King said, "What? You dare to attack my junior brother? Do you think I won't dare to kill you?" In an instant, the atmosphere was extremely tense. Peerless Sage King and Kunlun Sage King walked out, staring at Silver Corpse Sage King. At this moment, heaven and earth shattered. Demon City's Soaring Sage King and 10,000 Swords Pavilion's Divine Ghost Sage King also flew over. So lively, I wonder what everyone is talking about? This is great. Purple Moon Sage King smiled. Their side had 4 Sage Kings, and they had enough advantage. The surrounding people held their breaths. If the 7 Sage Kings did not agree and started a war, Joyous Palace would be destroyed. At this tense moment, 2 figures appeared on the ground below. One was Heishan, and the other was a lady. Her face was pale, and it was obvious that she was severely injured. She was Luiyue Sage King. Luiyue Sage King looked at the seal in front of her, and a cold look appeared in her eyes. It seemed that she wanted to take action. However, at this moment, a voice came from behind her. "I advise you not to act rashly, because if you do, you will die together. Do you want to destroy Joyous Palace?" Hearing this voice, Luiyue Sage King's eyes narrowed. She turned around and saw a black-robed man appear behind her. How could it be? How could there be someone here? She was really shocked. This place was the secret of Joyous Palace, and only the palace masters of each generation knew about it. Because she was the palace master, she knew about it. Purple Moon Sage King did not know about this place because she controlled it by force. So only she could enter. But how could the other party enter? "Who are you?" Luiyue Sage King was puzzled. "Are you from Purple Moon?" She was extremely nervous now. This black-robed man was naturally Heishan. He said, "No, I'm with Lin Xian. Therefore, they should be on your side." Hearing this, Bus Saint King heaved a sigh of relief. He had also sensed the aura of Peerless Saint King and the others outside. At this moment, Heishan said, "Turn back. What you're doing is a lose-lose situation. You have no advantage." "Then what do you want to do?" Naturally, it was to make use of his power. A cold glint appeared in Heishan's eyes. "This is a great fortune for me. If you give it to me and let me break through, I will definitely give you a complete Joyous Union Palace." Was that true? The Bus Saint King was shocked. Black Mountain exuded an aura that seemed to be above that of a Saint King. Bus Saint King felt his soul tremble. Who was this person? How could he have such a terrifying aura? He felt that facing this person was even more terrifying than facing the reincarnation protector. So she took a deep breath and said, "Okay, what do you need me to do?" Black Mountain said, "Go out and control the situation. Give me some time to prepare." Bus Saint King nodded and left the place. Outside, the 7 Saint Kings were facing each other. Their auras were constantly exploding. It seemed like a great battle was about to break out. At this moment, a figure flew out. His appearance attracted everyone's attention. "Master!" Qin Xianer exclaimed. She could not believe that it was her master. Lin Xian and the others also came over. Had the Bus Saint King appeared? Countless people exclaimed. At this moment, Purple Moon Saint King's eyes were filled with killing intent. "My dear senior sister, I have been looking for you. I did not expect you to be here. Be obedient and surrender. I can give you a quick death. Otherwise, I will let you know what it means to wish you were dead." "Humph." Bus Saint King snorted coldly. "Junior sister, if you surrender now, I can't pretend that nothing happened. I hope you will not go down the wrong path again. When Purple Moon Saint King heard this, he laughed out loud. Nothing happened? Senior sister, you are so naive. Do you really think that you are still the high and mighty Saint King? You were poisoned before, and now you are injured. Your strength is not as strong as before. And now, I am no longer a half-step Saint King. I am a true Saint King. What right do you have to look down on me? Now, I should be looking down on you. At the end, he roared. The void in the 9 heavens and 10 lands was shattering. A powerful aura swept across the 9 heavens and 10 lands. It is useless. Bua, we all support Purple Moon Saint King. You can rest in peace now. Silver Moon Saint King and the others also sneered. Since they had already appeared, why would they stop? Peerless Saint King's face was also cold. Do you think we are not here? They also walked out. This time, the aura between the two sides was even more terrifying. At this moment, Heishan transmitted his voice. You guys can have a great battle, but you have to pretend that you were trapped by them. Leave the rest to me. After Peerless Saint King and the others heard it, they also quickly attacked. The battle erupted. It was extremely terrifying and earth-shattering. Fortunately, these Saint Kings had all come to the 9 heavens, so the battle did not affect the ground below. Otherwise, the entire joyous palace would be turned into ashes. In the end, Peerless Saint King and the others followed Heishan's instructions and pretended that they were no match for the Saint Kings and were trapped. They have already been trapped by my divine ghost sword array. Together with your great underworld array, it should be able to seal them for a while. Next, let's go and check out the situation below. Silver Corpse Saint King sneered. Purple Moon Saint King wanted to attack immediately, but he also knew that trapping the opponents and killing the Saint Kings were two different situations. It was not easy to kill the Saint Kings. So, let's see what secrets there are below. The 4 Saint Kings quickly descended. Their powerful aura suppressed everything. When the people in the joyous palace saw that it was Purple Moon Saint King, they immediately gasped. Some of them cheered. Those who stood on Bus Saint King's side were in despair. Could it be that the joyous palace was really going to be controlled by Purple Moon from now on? Lin Xian and the others also retreated far away. Qin Xianer's face was solemn. Lin Xian said, "Don't worry. Everything is going according to plan." Purple Moon Saint King looked over and a cold murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Previously, Lin Xian and the toad mocked him. Now, he wanted to take action. However, Silver Corpse Saint King did say, "Don't worry. These few ants will not be able to run away. They are already in our hands. When they get the treasures, they will torture these few people. They will know the consequences of offending them." Chapter 4383. As far as they were concerned, Lin Xian and the others were nothing more than ants that they could crush as they wished. Therefore, they were not in a hurry to attack. In the next moment, they looked down and started to attack. A cold aura burst out and the roar became even more terrifying. However, after a huge battle, they were still unable to break the formation. This made the 4 Sage Kings' faces turn cold. It's useless. You can't break it. At this moment, a voice was heard. Who is it? Soaring Sage King roared and his dual blades swept across the 9 heavens. The other 3 Sacred Kings also frowned. Is someone here? Could it be another Sage King that dared to speak to them like that? In the next moment, they saw a figure walking over from afar. It was a black-robed man who was surrounded by a mysterious aura. I wonder, who is this person? Who are you? Purple Moon Sage King asked with a frown. She was worried that this was the helper of Peerless Sage King and the others. However, the black-robed man said that even if I told you my identity, you wouldn't know. However, I can help you break it. Break what? Purple Moon Sage King was stunned. Black Mountain pointed to the ground and said, "Naturally, it was to break the formation. Don't you want to get the thing that's sealed? There's a peerless formation here. Without a way to break it, even if you're a Sage King, you won't be able to break it. You can break the formation?" Silver Corpse Sage King and the others were shocked. They stared at the black-robed man in front of them as if they wanted to see through him. They naturally knew that this place wasn't the same. Otherwise, the four Sage Kings wouldn't be able to break it. However, this person said that he could break it. Who was this person? The other party's aura was very strange. They didn't feel the aura of a Sage King. However, they also discovered that the other party's cultivation was vague. It seemed that he hadn't become a Sage King yet. Soaring Sage King snorted coldly. How could such a person be qualified to say that he could help them break the formation? No matter who you are, you need to have the corresponding strength to say that. Do you have it? Purple Moon Sage King asked coldly. Black Mountain smiled. I don't have the cultivation of a Sage King now. However, my attainments and formations are not something that you can imagine. Also, don't try to make things difficult for me because I'm afraid that you won't be able to do it. I'm from the buried Emperor's star. When he said that, the others' faces changed. Were they from the buried Emperor's star? If that was really the case, then perhaps the other party really was an expert in array formations. What a do? Soaring Sky Saint King and the others discussed. The Silver Corpse Saint King said, if he wanted to fight, they would let him break the formation and give him some benefits. As for the treasures inside, they will definitely be ours. Even if he comes from the buried Emperor's star. So what? He doesn't have the qualifications to be arrogant in front of us. The few of them quickly transmitted their voices to each other. Soon, they came up with a plan. Among them, Purple Moon Sage King nodded and smiled. Since you're willing to help, that's great. Don't worry. If you can really break the formation, we won't mistreat you. All right, Black Mountain walked over. He naturally knew what these Saint Kings were up to. However, he did not care because he had absolute confidence in himself. Moreover, if he wanted to break the formation, he would need to borrow the power of these Saint Kings. Black Mountain walked to the front and waved his hand. Countless runes appeared below and swept in all directions. An extremely terrifying formation appeared on the ground. I don't know if you've heard of the Great Spiritual Heaven Lock Formation. Inside the four Spiritual Skylock Grand Array, Purple Moon Saint King was puzzled. However, the Silver Corpse Saint King's pupil shrank. This was a legendary formation that had been lost. Could it be that the formation below was the Great Spiritual Heaven Lock Formation? That's right. Black Mountain nodded. The Silver Corpse Saint King sucked in a breath of cold air after hearing that. No wonder the four of them were unable to break the formation. This was an extremely terrifying formation from the ancient era. It was said that it could even seal heaven and earth, let alone a mere saint. Do you really have a way to break it? The Divine Ghost Saint King asked coldly. Since that was the case, did he really know how to break such a terrifying formation that had been lost? Could it be that he was making fun of them? It's precisely because it's a lost formation that I know how to break it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come out and have the courage to face you. The Great Spiritual Heaven Lock Formation, as the name suggests, uses the four great spirit beasts as the foundation to fight a great battle. Within this formation, there are the souls and blood of the four great spirit beasts that are eternally suppressed. Now, you four Saint Kings can break it. With your strength, it shouldn't be a problem for each of you to deal with one spirit beast. Of course, when to attack and where to attack, it's still up to me. A cold light appeared in Black Mountain's eyes. Just like the legends, this guy really seemed to be able to break the formation. The Silver Corpse Saint King's eyes were cold. He couldn't wait any longer. What was suppressed by such a shocking formation was definitely a heaven-defying treasure. The four of them took a deep breath and descended. Next, they began to break the formation under Black Mountain's guidance. It had to be said that the four Saint Kings were very powerful. Each of them was earth-shattering. Even though the Purple Moon Saint King had just broken through, she was still far stronger than a Saint King. The four Saint Kings attacked together to break the formation. It took 9 days. Lin Xian and the others also retreated to a very far place. The Crimson Dragon muttered, "This old man, is there a problem? Don't give us the treasure if we don't succeed." It shouldn't be a problem. Lin Xian was also not confident. After all, the power of the formation in front of them was beyond his imagination. On the other side, The eyes of the peerless Saint King and the others who were trapped by the divine demon's sword formation and the underworld great array were also flickering. They were all waiting patiently. Gradually, the power of the four spiritual heaven-lock formation weakened. It wouldn't take long for it to be broken. This is great. The purple moon Saint King and the silver corpse Saint King smiled. It seemed like the black-robed man was really something. She was wondering if she should bring the black-robed man back to the true spirit world after everything here was over. After all, there were even more mysterious places in that place, and there were many mystical great formations. If she brought along such an expert in formations, she might be able to reap even more rewards. Buzz. Suddenly, a low sound was heard. Then, cracks appeared on the formation and spread out in all directions. Great! Has it been broken? The purple moon Saint King and the others were overjoyed. They were ready to attack at any time. However, at that moment, there were 6 shackles at the place where they were. They were completely enveloped by 6 shackles. Then, they were bound in the sky. What's going on? They were shocked. However, Black Mountain said, "Don't be afraid. This is the last formation. It will be broken soon. If you leave, then all your efforts will be wasted." The 4 of them were stunned when they heard this. They didn't leave and allowed the chains to bind them. They furrowed their brows. To be honest, although they were also suspicious, they had spent a lot of effort to break the formation. Now, it was the last step. If they gave up now, it would be a loss. Chapter 4384. Purple Moon Saint King asked coldly, "What should we do next? It won't bind us forever, right?" Heishan said, "Don't worry. The 4-spirit heaven lock array is incomparably mystical. It won't be broken so easily. However, it's already at its final stage. There will definitely be some powerful methods. You might feel that some of your energy is being drained, but don't worry. Give me some time and I'll be able to break it completely." Sure enough, after Heishan said that, Purple Moon Saint King and the others felt the energy in their bodies flying out. It was as if something below them had been devoured. They were shocked, but Heishan had already told them beforehand, so they weren't too surprised. However, not long after, they frowned. Divine Ghost Saint King said, "What's going on? We've already absorbed 1/5 of the energy. Is it not done yet?" Ghost Voice said, "Wait a little longer." However, after a while, Soaring Sky Saint King was also impatient. "Damn it, what are we waiting for? You're playing tricks." Silver Corpse Saint King's eyes were emitting extremely cold killing intent. 1/3 of their energy had already been drained. This caused them to be shocked. "You'd better not play tricks, or you'll die miserably." This time, Heishan didn't say anything. Wait a little longer. Instead, he asked, "Oh, how miserably?" Silver Corpse Saint King and the others frowned when they saw the change in Heishan's attitude. "You're indeed playing tricks." Scram. With a furious roar, the energy in their bodies erupted, wanting to break the chains. Then, they forcefully searched their souls. Although the other party was from the buried Emperor Star, so what? The other party dared to play tricks on them, completely angering them. No one could withstand the anger of a Saint King. However, in the next instant, they were all stunned, because they discovered that the 6 chains didn't break. Instead, they seemed to have turned into huge dragons that firmly enveloped them. "Damn it!" Purple Moon Saint King cried out in alarm, instantly releasing a terrifying moonlight. The moonlight could destroy the heavens and earth, but it couldn't break the chains. Soaring Sky Saint King's side was the same. The 4 Saint Kings were all stunned. They roared crazily, but the more they fought back, the more energy they discovered was being absorbed from their bodies. In the end, the last half of their energy was gone. "Damn it! What did you do to us?" Soaring Sky Saint King roared crazily. "Damn it! When I come out, I'll tear you to pieces." The Silver Corpse Saint King's eyes were also filled with killing intent. Now, they knew that this guy had designed a trap to trap them. Heishan raised his head to the sky and laughed. "It's useless. Stop struggling. The 4 of you can't break it, because you're also trapped by the Great 4 Spiritual Heaven Lock Array." After he finished speaking, Heishan regained his coldness. His body emitted a supreme aura, as though he was a god looking down on the other party. The four Saint Kings roared crazily. Unfortunately, they were completely unable to break free. Instead, more and more of their strength was being absorbed. As for the absorbed power, it once again turned into the unsealing formation, allowing Heishan to enter. That's great. Did I succeed? When Lin Xian and the others saw this scene from afar, a smile appeared on their faces. Peerless Saint King and the rest also began to break the array. They were about to come out. The rest of the matter was easy to handle. Black Mountain looked at Lin Xian and said, "All right, they're trapped. I'm going to go down and look for the creation. Don't come down. It's very dangerous inside." After he finished speaking, he disappeared in a flash. The toad wanted to sneak in and take advantage of the situation. In the end, he was scared out of his wits when he went down. Damn it, what exactly is sealed inside? The toad did not dare to go down even if he was beaten to death. The Crimson Dragon looked and shook his head. He did not go down. With such a terrifying aura, even a half-step Saint King would not dare to go down. It was only because Heishan was the remnant soul of a great saint that he had such means. Hee, old things, you're finally in my hands today. Lin Xian looked at the four Saint Kings and sneered. He first looked at the Silver Corpse Saint King. You're very powerful. You dared to kill me before. Now, try and kill me. After he finished speaking, he slapped the Silver Corpse Saint King's face. The Silver Corpse Saint King was stunned. What was he doing? He dared to slap him. His eyes were fuming. His gaze was like a long knife that could pierce through everything. Lin Xian was shocked. He quickly used the Great Saint King to defend himself. Old thing, you still dare to glare at me. Do you believe that I won't beat your eyes out? Another 2 slaps flew out. Damn, Brad, do you want to die? The Silver Corpse Saint King roared. As a high and mighty Saint King, he controlled everything. No one had ever dared to treat him like this. On the other side, the Flying Sky Saint King also roared. Damn it, quickly kneel down. Kneel your grandpa. The Crimson Dragon roared. The toad was even more direct. Watch me, dog-beating palm technique. He waved his claws and slapped forward. This kind of attack could not break through the Saint King's defense. However, the words dog-beating palm technique almost made the Flying Sky Saint King vomit blood. The Crimson Dragon also laughed and stared. The Divine Ghost Sword King sneered. Watch my dog-beating palm technique. After he finished speaking, he also kicked the other party's face. Qin Xianer was stunned. How could this be? In the next moment, she stared at the Purple Moon Saint King with a cold look in her eyes. The Purple Moon Saint King was about to cry. He did not want to be attacked like this. Although it could not hurt him, it was worse than killing him. No, Xianer, you can't do this to me. I am your martial uncle. I am now a Saint King. If you attack me, you will become an enemy of the Joyous Union Palace. After he finished speaking, he received a slap. Qin Xianer waved her hand. It's all because of you that the Joyous Union Palace became like this. Watch how I beat you to death. As she spoke, she also attacked crazily and slapped the Purple Moon Saint King. Slapping the face of a Saint King? This is the first time. The North Demon also joined the battle. The snow-white little monkey happily jumped around on the heads of these Saint Kings. In an instant, an earth-shattering sound came from the front. The people of the Joyous Union Palace were stunned. Their eyes almost fell out. What did they see? A few young people were slapping the faces of the 4 great Saint Kings. If this spread out, it would definitely shock the entire starry sky. In the distance, the peerless Saint King and the others tore open the array and came nearby. When they saw this scene, they also had a strange expression. The peerless Saint King took a deep breath and said, "Fortunately, we are in the same group. Otherwise, it would be unimaginable." Kunlun's death was also a joke. Haha, I guess these guys even have the heart to die. The peerless Saint King snorted. Serves them right for being so arrogant. Now they know what it feels like. They did not attack. Instead, they sneered. After Wushuang's death, they directly used the array to record everything that happened below. When the time comes, when this thing is released to the myriad worlds, Let's see if these Saint Kings still have the face to come out. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.